Good morning, everybody. This is Jez7780 with another What Grinds My Gears after my few week hiatus due to baby boot camp. But there's been family stuff going on too, so I wanted to do this kind of early today. I got some family stuff to do, and yeah, I wanted to get my opinions out there for this XO18 because it's going to be busy in the next few days. And yeah, sorry I haven't uploaded a video in a while, but yeah, as you know, playing Xbox and stuff like that, I've been out of commission for a little bit, but now I'm back. I watched the XO18, and as you know, coming from that, there's a lot I have to say about it. I know leading into it, people are like, "Oh, you're going to be negative about it. Well, you're going to find stuff to complain about." Well, the show is a disaster, and it challenged my intelligence. And while there's some things I want to talk about it, there's also little things that I found, going through the video and stuff like that because I've been traveling a lot. Over the last day or so, just listening, just watching the videos, and just little hints and just little things in that video, that presentation that really kind of just stands out. And the first thing I would just want to say regarding this this inside Xbox and this whole Major Nelson team presentation that goes on somewhat every month is that it needs to go. Inside Xbox overall is just a joke fest that needs to just be gone, or they need to fix the whole show because it is just cringy. It challenges the intelligence of the viewers, and it is just something that I see on paper where an inside Xbox would be. And this is inside Xbox because basically that's what this was, with just a crazy paid audience. But inside Xbox overall, my opinions of it is that it needs to go. And it won't go. And you want to know why? Is because inside Xbox is made for mixer engagement. If you remember back when Microsoft wanted to make TV shows and they were talking about the Halo movie and they were making episodic content and stuff like that as an entertainment studio, this is kind of just a rebranding of it. Basically, Mixer is their video. I know. It's up, Gregor. How you doing, man? The, there, there have been like their Mixer platform is their video streaming, but it's also for them a distribution content. And as they mention that basically they want to have this show, Mixer engagement counts as engagement. So by having content on Mixer, not necessarily just game streaming, but just things like this, events on this, although they do stream it on other platforms, it really is to they had the Mixpot thing where if you tune in, you get some content and stuff like that. If you sign in with your Xbox account, but this was developed for Mixer in mind. I don't think that this was developed as a really established kind of news platform for Xbox gamers because the content packaging, the length of it, the things that go on in inside Xbox, I don't know who that audience is for because it really is just a big long commercial. So it's like them, and they have commercials within inside Xbox, which that's going to get to. But inside Xbox needs to go away, or needs to be fixed, or needs to like half of all the stuff that's in there could be handled in just a Nintendo Direct type thing where they could just go down news. That is a delivery of news. Inside Xbox is a fucking clown spectacle show that is just unwarranted and not needed, and makes the news that they deliver cringy, but just not taken for what the news is. And that is my ultimate problem with Microsoft right now. Like, I think if you look at what the news that came out of it, it is what it is. And if you take what it is what it is on what they're doing, it was all right. with the news, which it's not the news that it's not all right for me. I have a whole other expectation of them. But for what they're trying to do, they're rebuilding and rebranding and building up these studios again, not for Xbox the console. Those 360 days that Microsoft's going to come back big and better with the like a 360, how the 360 came, those are gone. These studios are making stuff for Microsoft gaming, whether that be mobile, console, PC, streaming, or all of it. And if you watch these things, you see the console's really not mentioned at all as an Xbox platform. If you go back and look at Xbox events, it's all about this was Xbox Game Pass, the show. And that's all Inside Xbox has been. It's like the only news that Major Nelson could share is Inside Xbox news and new console bundles. And it's just that Inside Xbox itself is just becomes a joke. It makes it look like to fans and to haters and stuff like that it's just comical. It's like when they brought Usher to show off Just Dance or something like that. Like it's just it challenges your intelligence as a gamer and doesn't take it seriously. Instead, they kind of just, have these goofy ass things going on, 2 hour shows, goofy things. And it really, and I'll give you a perfect example before I get into, just the event itself. But a perfect example of what I'm speaking about on how this Inside Xbox, the presentation muffles the news is the fucking cringeworthy Major Nelson Crazy Eddie scheme. And they announced in that thing $100 off the Xbox One X for Black Friday, which could have been a big kind of serious announcement where they go like, hey, we want everybody to experience the X. We're going to drop it $100 this year, this Black Friday, and sell it as like, we're trying to move consoles. This is the best time to jump in. Instead, they take that news and put it in a Major Nelson ludicrous package that you wind up laughing at the bullshit that's on your screen or what you're listening to than actually hearing what the news is. And that is the ultimate problem and disconnect that whoever puts on this piece of shit production needs to know. It is like grown-ass adults trying to make kid shows. But that is a perfect example of everybody seeing Major Nelson like a nutcase with like trippy kind of stupid shit. And then embedding that the Xbox One X is getting $100 price drop for that. What's up, Daniel? Now, I'm going in on this shit. But this is the problem that I have, and it's the packaging of it. It was 100. If Phil Spencer had more news worth the damn instead of what he actually did down there, which I'll get into what he did and how I feel about it. You should have had Booty or these guys on stage talking about seriousness. Like, what if you want to put the dope Major Nelson up there and at least have a presentation going, we're dropping the price this holiday. It's going to be the best time. We got these games. Like, do something serious. Instead, they throw it in that package. Yeah, don't worry about Crackdown, Andrew. I'll get to Crackdown. But that's the problem I have with Inside Xbox. This is the Inside Xbox rant. And I don't even know if there's any rant anymore. You just watch it. It's a fucking diss. It's a fucking insult. Just watch it. Might as well just take somebody outside and kick them in the nuts. Because it is too long. It is dry. It's goofy. It's stupid. And to think that they're spending money on the production, the makeup, flying fools down to Mexico to say, I got news, but I don't want to talk about it. Which that's the thing that grinds my gears. And that is where, I might go off on a rant. Because that is the problem I have. Like, if you sit here and listen to just, they're rebuilding, all right? Whatever happened to Xbox in the last 2 years, they abandoned it. Satya Nadella said, fuck this console, we're done. And Phil Spencer went in there, begged on his hands and knees, said I could rebrand it. and let's build some studios. Now they let go of a lot of studios. Now they're getting some studios back. Whether these studios are going to be good or great, I think on both ends of the spectrum. I understand. I'm not here to say like fanboy banter back and forth because I think it's hilarious. I enjoy it. I think it's funny. But you're not going to have somebody change their mind. You're not going to tell somebody who's a diehard Xbox person all of a sudden, they need to come to the realization of what's going on. And I think that's where the problem is with a lot of these. Because it's funny, I thought the same stuff with PlayStation things. When I had my when I was on the Xbox and playing on there, I will look at PlayStation. But they'll take anything that Sony gives them. But Sony was catering to their fans. Like when they had a fan event, maybe it was like some Japanese games, things like that. But the fans seemed excited about it because they catered to their fans, just like what Nintendo does with Smash Brothers and their shows. Nintendo caters to their fans. Microsoft looks like puts on a front. They look like they're catering to their fans, but their fans are like, what is this bullshit? See, if you look at the two events of PSX from last year and the Xbox one, you look and it was like a serious deep dive into those games where they talked about the development. Yes, it might not have been as news announcements with new stuff, but it gave you appreciation of the games that were coming out. It was a mature take on gaming. Something that everybody kind of wants. Like, they want gaming to be taken mature as it, like, Jeff Keighley tries to do it, even though he has some cringy things in his stuff, but try to legitimize gaming and make gaming more of a serious, like an art form. And Sony had couches on stage and everybody made fun of it, but they sat there and they talked about the game. They didn't have an inside Xbox where they were shooting people out of a cannon to celebrate Sea of Thieves or having some assholes go in a fucking submarine looking for Kraken. Or having Major Nelson do a Crazy Eddie scheme to talk about Black Friday deals. Or have some goofy ass shit going on, painting on a wall, have some crowd yelling and screaming over people that weren't even announcing anything. I think they were just drones. It was ridiculous. That crowd was fucking stupid. And it actually took away. They were just cheering random shit that didn't make any sense. They were cheering while the people were trying to deliver some news, and they're just smiling. I'm like, if that's the world that Microsoft wants to live in, and Phil Spencer thinks that that's genuine, he's fucking wrong, because those people were not genuinely excited for what was going on. They were just chanting. They were like cheerleaders, just chanting for what the hell they were going on, and it was disingenuous. It made it look silly. It looked staged, which I think some of it was staged. It was a travesty to our intelligence as watching this stuff to think like these are genuine fans that are excited about what's going on, chanting anything that Microsoft said. They're like fucking 2-year-olds. Like, Sea of Thieves, Sea of Thieves, Sea of Thieves. It's like, eat my shit, eat my shit, eat my shit. Like, they would say anything that they will fucking talk about. Like, it was just so stupid. It was like it was like the fucking, the things from, like the Little Mermaid. What was it? The stupid seagulls. Mine. The fucking crowd. It wasn't a mature take on gaming. So I don't know who that's for, but it's streaming 2 hours on a fucking Saturday on their dedicated Mixer streaming on YouTube all over the place. But it's made for I don't know who. It's a fucking goofball show. And Inside Xbox needs to go. Where Sony had a mature take on their games, talking about development, talking about the games. Microsoft just had some goofy ass shit. And the stuff that they're supposed to talk about, they glossed over and went more into their fucking pomp and circumstance, stupid chants, and all that other stuff. Yeah, I mean, it was like it was just like stupid shit. It was stupid shit, and it was horrible. The show needs to go. And XO18, to bring it back, to brand it as XO18, go look at the original XO. It was like an E3 presentation. It was serious. And that's the other thing. Like, E3 didn't have this stuff. E3 was like a mature show. Like, it's a show on stage. He comes out. We bought this. We bought that. This is just Inside Xbox needs to go. Major Nelson and his crew, a bunch of fucking goofballs. Major Nelson was better with just Major Nelson Radio. And I don't know why they did this. And I'm telling you, well, I know why, because of fucking Mixer, because they got to bring shit to Mixer, because Mixer is a fucking the bottom of the barrel. And they need to have content for it. But now I'm going to get into, as I already got into, because I'm already losing my voice because I've been yelling yesterday and just all this stuff going on. Just this XO event. And then maybe I'll compare it, but like, my biggest thing is, and this is my biggest problem at first, is that we all understand that they lost their way. Microsoft is shifting and rebranding as gaming. You have to accept this as what they're doing. And them buying the studios is nice. It doesn't make me excited as a gamer now or next year, but to think that they might have some unique games coming out of their studios, at least they got somebody to make these games. And that is something that is good. And it kind of it brings you back to the original Xbox days. It's like, they're just trying to reestablish themselves. But the thing is that it's not about the console. And Phil, a number of times, has shown that it's not about, he says success is not in selling the console. So when people look at this and celebrate and think that they're happy for Xbox, I think you need to recheck yourself, because while some of this might come to Xbox, the thing is that it is not all for Xbox. Like, I think if Sony or Nintendo bought a studio, that will have more impact on the gamer and the console owner than what Microsoft has. And I'm not saying because if it goes on PC and if it goes on Xbox, then, it's not worth a damn. But Microsoft is making a legit effort to try to gain PC gamers. And they are putting PC exclusive games on PC, not on console. So that directly impacts the console owner. So when you sit there going, Obsidian, oh my God, what are they going to make? What happens if they make a PC only game like Gears Tactics, like Age of Empires, like Minecraft Dungeons, and that game comes out first? How valuable is that studio to you that you're cheering rah, rah, rah right now going about Obsidian? Yeah, and I'll get into what they don't talk about, Daniel. Yeah, they didn't have any of that stuff. Right, Gregor, yeah. And there was, and that's what I mean, the things that they could have focused on. But the thing is like, you cannot be happy for the console thinking that these studios are going to make it go match up with Sony and they're going to be fighting the same fight. Sony's not fighting. Microsoft's not fighting the same fight. And they are making games. They're trying to make more. This is the thing. And if you really listen to what Phil says and what goes on, not just going rah, rah, rah like the fucking fans on that stupid show. And if you really listen to what he's saying and what his goals are, it is to build and get PC gaming under Microsoft's umbrella. He's fighting Steam. They're trying to challenge Steam and get some of that love. That's where the effort's going. The effort is the PC initiative. They are dropping out. Like their point right now is not to sell the most consoles, because selling hardware does not make money, as Phil said. It's the software. And if the software is coming bundled with the PC, you already got one part of it done. And he says in his interview from 2017, like anytime, he said, I was listening to it and I shared it on my Twitter. It's all about the software. And you don't make money selling consoles. You make money with the software. If I could sell more games than consoles, he said, that would be great. So the PC platform's already there. You don't need to buy into that thing. You're just getting it. But the problem is that the people who buy PC are not buying it technically for gaming. They're buying it for work, for school, for this, that, and gaming just comes along. So I think they're a little kind of, seeing all those big numbers of PC owners and thinking that that's going to be all gamers. It's not. But Microsoft is expanding themselves to those things. And that's where these studios come in to bring content to their platform, Windows gaming. And that's where you need to look at it as. So if you think that this is a win for Xbox, it's not. because some of this stuff might not even come to the console. And that's where, if you accept that, I've accepted it, and whatever little stuff they put out, I'll just play it on a PC. And where people are giving me exclusive games, unique features, things like that, that's where I'm gonna go. So that's where Nintendo and Sony come in. That's where gaming is going to be for me, with some stuff on PC as Microsoft trickles out content. That's the thing. They have lost me. It's done. I will chime in with Xbox on PC, on chat, on doing that stuff where I could use their features. But as for a console, and that's the biggest problem, is that people say these studios, Obsidian and Insight, in Excess, little studio there, but like, these studios are nice for Windows gaming, but not necessarily for Xbox gaming. And the problem that I have with this is that they are still trying to sell you a piece of plastic. They're still trying to sell you a console, when every event, every time they put a microphone in front of Phil's fucking mouth, it's not about the console. And that's a problem. If you had Apple come out there and just say, hey, it's all about Apple Cloud, and they don't mention that we don't give a shit how many iPads we sell. We don't care how many, and they don't talk about iPad. Like, think about Apple had an event and didn't talk about iPad. You'll be like, huh? You embrace what you're selling. You give people a reason to buy it. And I think that's where the biggest problem comes out of some Xbox fans, when they look at this and go, why are you not promoting this thing? Because you need to get people to buy this console because you're trying to sell it. How can you try to sell something and you don't make any effort to really make people want to buy it? And every time you talk, you basically go, it's all about everywhere, consoles, all this. I want to be everywhere. It doesn't matter about the console, be everywhere. And if you listen to Phil's interview, or that thing, if you could hear over the stupid ass crowd, all he says is he just basically talks about console, like everywhere. And you gotta just accept it. That's what it is. And that's what they're gonna be. And unfortunately, as a win for a console, if you were, and this is where I have an issue with the Xbox console, and just the thing is like, when you lined up and bought that console, you don't want to walk out there going like, yeah, the company who makes this thing really doesn't give a shit if I bought this or not. Like, that's the thing. Like, and some people say, well, it doesn't matter. It should matter, because the thing is that shows support for the console. And if you get things like a Gears Tactics, or you get games that are not coming to that console, manufactured by the first party studios of that console, those are issues. That's an issue. If Sony goes to puts a game, and the thing is that there's no balance. See, you need to have a balance. Like, they know that Xbox is starving of games right now. They know that. They've mentioned it. Yes, our first party, we got to build it up. So why, when you come out with your first party, do you talk about them going to somewhere else besides your platform? You should be trying to put every game that ever crosses your eyebrow onto the console. You have a dedicated gaming machine, but meanwhile, you want to come out. You own Minecraft. You tout Minecraft every single time, but Minecraft has a Dungeons game that might be the big game, and you want to make it PC only. Gears Tactics, a spin on Gears of War. Why don't you have that going to Xbox? It makes no sense. Because you're not going to release a keyboard and mouse only game. And I'm going to tell you what the biggest kick in the nuts would be, is that Gears Tactics supports controller on PC. Which I don't know what day and what time point in life you're in that you will not have a game that just does keyboard and mouse. I bet you Gears of War Tactics works with a controller on PC, because the whole point of Microsoft doing this is to get PC to put a game on the Windows 10 store, so people will go there and engage that way. And you're right, Greg. It's the fake engagement. It's fake engage. They want eyeballs on their products, and they want to push it on PC. because there's no issue, and that's the problem. When I see that this model of gaming everywhere and Microsoft being everywhere, it falls apart. And just to get into to wrap that up on that thought, I'm just gonna go and show you just a little clip from his thing, just to talk about. Where is he? Now back to the event. Like I already said, Inside Xbox has to go, and XO18 is nothing. Like it is a goof show, and it is something that. Where's Phil? It's too long. Here he is.
Sensational, except for food. I mean, we've already had some great news already. Like, we've literally straight into the show. Like, what are you most excited about?
Well, I mean, just coming off the back of Joe and now, I think from what we have to offer, and it's going to be a fun journey.
You're going to get in there and tinker a little bit.
Just a little bit.
You guys are making such huge, or rather we're making huge steps forward, technologically and kind of smaller incremental steps every day. Like, where do you see us in 20 years time? Like, sell us the dream. Where are we going?
I love that. I mean, you think about for us, when we started on this journey a few years ago, we said we want to make sure we've got the largest library of games for people to play. So we did things like backward compatibility. We did some work.
I'll let you listen to it for a second.
Services, brought Mixer in. People told me, I want better hardware. We went out and did S. We went out and did X, the most powerful console in the world, something we're committed to in the future. And we wanted to bring all gamers together regardless of what platform they're on. So we've been talking about cross-play, cross-progression. We showed a little bit about xCloud in the future. But when I really look at next, I think we got a ton of work to do on Windows. And
so, as an Xbox fan, you satisfied? He's done with you. They got a lot of work to do on Windows. Head of Xbox. You guys are taken care of. He took care of you guys. He's done. He gave you the console. He made you backwards compatibility. And now, focused on Windows.
And Windows is something I'm very committed to. I've heard the feedback about our store. I'm going to take a bigger leadership role on what's going on with the Windows store.
It's not me. I'm not saying it. He says he took care of you. He gave you your games. He gave you the console. Now shut the fuck up and let me fix Windows. He's committed and focused and take more of a leadership role in it.
Make it really tailored towards the gamers that we know want to see the best from what we have to offer. And it's going to be a fun journey.
You're going to get in there and tinker a little bit.
Just a little bit.
So, I mean, I'm loving all these big announcements. For Game Pass, because to me, when I think of a subscription service, you kind of always assume it's going to be kind of like the You guys haven't really done that. So I mean, I presume from that, you're saying you're super committed to this service. This is how you see the kind of future going.
Well, I would say it's about choice for gamers, right? So if people want to buy games to build their library, that's their choice, and I love that. I love the fact that we offer that. For a lot of people, the best way to build their library of games to play is through Game Pass. Where I'd say 12 new games coming to Game Pass this holiday. Obviously, our first
fucking crowd. Even though what's going on, half the people, oh my god. If you look at the cutaways, people are like, what are those people cheering for? They have no clue. This is a fucking joke. But try to overhear that piece of shit crowd.
I think it gives gamers a choice about where they want to play and how they want to play.
And what's funny is that again, the circumstance of it, but you look at the crowd, they're looking to the side, looking at they're like, oh, should I be doing this? Should I be doing this? They're just fake bullshit. It's so stupid.
And how they want to build their library. And we've got millions of subscribers now, and it's just great.
Millions of subscribers of Game Pass, millions of subscribers. Why don't they share the numbers about how Game Pass is doing? And then you look at the revenue of Game Pass, That's the thing. Like, they talk about 4 million people in State of Decay 2 and millions of subscribers. But when you look at the numbers or whatever comes out from these analysts, these are not fanboy charts. But this is like revenue. This is from reports. And you look and see Game Pass is only at 12% or 15%. PlayStation Now is at 52, 53. The EA Access, which has been exclusive to Xbox, has been only like 15% or so. Like, you look at the data, the numbers show that they are at the bottom of the barrel in everything, in server, in the stream, in Game Pass, in sales, and when you compare them to the revenue of the other, like, it is just, as a company, they're fine. But if you look at where they're trying to go, they're still growing, and he has a lot of work to do. But Game Pass is Xbox. And soon, the next year or so, Game Pass will drop off and it'll just be called Xbox. And that will be on everything. And I'm going to say this. Once they are building, and this is the whole thing was Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass. Game Pass is their exit strategy. That is it. Once Game Pass goes on PC, as Satya already confirmed, they want Game Pass on PC. And they flip the switch on that Xbox Game Pass app on mobile and start shipping out those stupid things to strap on your phone. That is it. Like, that's their exit strategy. That's the way they're gonna go. So when the console doesn't sell 20 million or 15 million or 30 million and 40 million, when the console doesn't do that well, they got this other business on the side that they could easily just say, you know what, let's just stop making the hardware. Let's just kind of like exit strategy, basically. Let's just turn this into an app of streaming and go. And that's where it is. And then he goes this. But Xbox Game Pass is it. Like, I've never seen them push so hard for Game Pass. The problem I have Game Pass is the content, and they are trying to make legitimate content in there, but they need to come out with some it's a double-edged sword, because when they have something that's quality like Forza Horizon and put it in there, I do think it devalues the game and the want of the game, because and all you hear people is like these games like Crackdown, which I may get into. Oh, it doesn't look, it looks all right. It looks, I'm just going to Game Pass it, test it out. Like, I guess they consider that a win. Like, maybe that's a customer that was never going to buy Crackdown until it dropped in sales, and maybe that they subscribe to it and do it. But it's just so challenging to try to get engagement or really try to, it's a shift in focus and really try to figure out, like, get that excitement, that traditional gamer excitement lining up. And the thing is that that's not dying. And if I saw the other two companies not seeing success, and game sales are not high year over year, it's digital, people are subscribing to more services, and then I would say, yeah, the industry might be going this way. But when you see Nintendo just come out last year and just drop a traditional console, and then their owner come out and say, our games will not be on other platforms. Their president came out and said that. Like, they'll make a game for a mobile device, which is fine. I have no problem with them making games as long as you take care of your core. You could come out with Super Mario Run as long as you come out with Mario Odyssey. But if all you're coming out was Mario Run, that's a problem. And you're trying to sell a console that doesn't play it, that's a problem. And if Sony came out and said, here's a mobile game, that's fine. I don't give a shit. As long as they're coming out with console games and balancing it, you could do whatever you want. But when you're talking mobile strategy and you're talking streaming and you're talking all this, well, you got people sitting with a $500 piece of plastic playing multi-platform games, and you're not showing the power of that console from your own studios, from your own grind, like you're basically your own manufacturing facility, that's a problem. because you're not in a position right now to even get the developer support because your market penetration is low. So you got to go buy studios. You got to go merge and buy shit and contract out stuff to try to get any movement, because developers are not necessarily just gravitating to your platform because you're not the lead platform. So you're in between a rock and a hard place. And the thing about Game Pass is that it is a good service, but if you want new content in it, it's not the best way to go. And if you look at what, and Netflix is a perfect model, because look how much content Netflix has, original content. But it's so kind of hit or miss. Like, you see how they canceled the season of Luke Cage. They put the Sabrina in there, did this. Like, it basically, like, it's very kind of fluid. It's very kind of like, throw this in there. If it doesn't work, pull it out. If this doesn't work, put it in there. It's kind of just this kind of fluid stuff. And game is like ownership. Game is like, give me this game. I want to play this game. I love it. I want to play this game. And when you have that kind of frugality, or just the kind of like fluid kind of, it comes into service. It's all right. It's mediocre. We'll build it. It's all right. Like, I don't think gamers have the patience. There's so many games and so many ways to play. Nobody's going to sit around and wait for Kraken to evolve and Sea of Thieves. Nobody's going to wait for that. That game has to hit, and hit hard when it launches. And then if it doesn't hit when it launches, the developer needs to fix it, take the complaints back, and relaunch it as like a Game of the Year edition or with DLC. We fix this shit. That's how it works. It's punches. It's not this like, well, we'll wait. Gamers don't have patience for that. And that's why it's funny. And before I finish the Phil thing, if you look at the Sea of Thieves thing, Aaron Greenberg did a tweet, and he's like, "Oh, do you want adventure mode?" One of the announcements of XO18 was like, "You want adventure mode, or you want or you want this arcade arena mode?" And basically, he goes, "Oh, everybody's been asking for this arena mode. Proud to bring it." And meanwhile, his poll is like 70% to 30% for adventure mode. Like, that's the way that people want to play. You want to know why? Is because the people who are still playing Sea of Thieves and give a shit, they don't want to combat. They want to explore. Those are the diehard people. They just want to sail and do the role play. They don't want like a death match. They're glad that probably shit left. Like, they want to like, join up with people and explore and stuff. They don't want people just to shooting them. You missed that audience. That audience left. That was the audience at first. I was trolling everybody. You're attacking every ship. Now they're just like, "Hello, fellow mates. Come join my ship." That crowd, you lost that crowd. That was the initial thing. Just like a Ghost Recon Wildlands, how they brought the multiplayer later. It's there. But then it would have took off, I think, better, especially with the PUBG era. Like, I think that the Ghost Recon Wildlands having a combative multiplayer would have worked. But that crowd left. It came out in the end of last year. It was too late. It was like, I'm not going back in that game. Gamers are very fickle-minded. Gamers are very they're like that. What have you done for me lately? What's the next hot thing? And Game Pass is nice, but Microsoft has to put some big hitters in it. And I'm going to go.
People choosing to play new games and finding new ways to discover interesting talent.
Yeah, and kind of mixing up the genres as well. You might be like well into shooters, but actually you're like, oh, hey, it's not going to cost me anything. I'll just have a little dabble with that.
That's the best thing. Like, what we see when people get into Game Pass is they actually play more games. They actually buy more games, which maybe seems counterintuitive. They try genres of games that they don't normally play. Like, we watch that when we see what people are playing. I think it's just been a great thing for the creative community. We want as many kinds of games to be successful as possible.
So,
and that's it. That's the model. So once Xbox Game Pass evolves off of the console, it's done. That's it. Game Pass is their future. And that's the thing. Everybody's going to start playing Game Pass. Microsoft is going to turn into a subscription service. They already have. What they need to do is drop the Xbox Live subscription requirement for Game Pass, because that's bullshit paying for 2 subscriptions. But Game Pass is their future. And if this XO event did not tell you that, Game Pass is where it is. That's why it doesn't matter about keyboard, mouse, and control, because it's not going to matter. It's going to be wherever you are, you could play your game. You're on the toilet, you touch screens. You're in front of your TV, you use keyboard and mouse. Yeah, I'll play the part where he does the Windows touch. I just did it, Burgundy. I'll do it again. Because I basically said, like, this is his future. Like,
Mixer content's right for everybody. I think it's such a
Mixer
from what we have to offer, and it's going to be a fun journey.
You're going to get in there and tinker a little bit.
Yeah, here it is.
We're launching the Adapt controller in 17 new markets in 2019, including here in Mexico, which is great.
Adaptive controller cheer of the people. They're still cheering. Hooting.
You know, we want to make sure that the community is the right place for everybody. We want to make sure content's right for everybody. I think it's such a, and being here with the fans, you hear from them. We know gamers are passionate. What are we doing here?
I mean, as someone who really loves to future games, it's why I love tech, it's why I love gaming, and it's great to have you here. Obviously, you guys are making such huge.
My God, you made me watch this again, Burgundy. Shame on you.
Where do you see it in 20 years' time? Sell us where are we going?
Here he goes.
I mean, you think about for us when we started on this journey a few years ago, we said we want to make sure we've got the largest library of games.
Backwards compatibility, check.
Backward compatibility. We did some work on our platform and our services, brought Mixer in. People told me, hey, I want better hardware. We went out and did S. We went out and did X.
Xbox fans, you're satisfied. He took care of you.
Something we're committed to in the future. And we wanted
Here's your
to bring
future.
all gamers together, regardless of what
Crossplay.
platform they're on. So we've been talking about crossplay.
But this is where he's going. I'm built. Now, if I was Phil Spencer, with the future, I want to make Xbox the platform to play the best games onto it. We got all these studios that are going to make amazing games just for this console, for all these fans right here on Xbox. We're going to put some of these games on PC, but Xbox is going to be the place to play these games moving forward. They're going to have the best graphics. They're going to have the best stories, and we are ensuring that the quality that comes out of our studios is top-notch, and we're going to deliver that in Game Pass and in retail, and we're going to give the fans what they wanted, the things that they've been asking for. We got the most powerful console. I'm working on the next console, and we're going to have the best of the best, and that's why I'm investing in these gaming studios to give Xbox fans the best games that they want and the games that they want to play. And we want to make Halo great again. We want Halo back. We want Gears back, but we want to make new games. We want to make new IP. What's that next game? That's why I have that studio out in Santa Monica making. They're going to make the next big game. They're going to make the next big game. We got some announcements later on of more studios. We're going to be bringing genres to Xbox that Xbox fans have never had the best in-house RPGs. We're going to be doing this. And I could go on and on and on. We're going to make Xbox the best place to play. It's going to have subscription services, but it's going to have the best games that you want to play. Not where you can play it, but you want to play these games. You're going to come to the console and you're going to play these games. That's what Phil Spencer's next line should be, right? We're making Xbox the place to play. I gave you the consoles. You got backwards compatibility. We got all these studios. We're making content just for you guys. The content you've been asking for. The content that's going to make you subscribe. Go out and buy an Xbox. We're bringing it. But this is what Phil Spencer says.
Cloud in the future. But when I really look at next, I think we got a ton of work to do on Windows. And Windows is something I'm very committed to. I've heard the feedback about our store. I'm going to take a bigger leadership role on what's going on with the Windows Store, make it really tailored towards the gamers that we know want to see the best from what we have to offer. And it's going to be a fun journey.
So that's what he said. It's going to be a fun journey. He's going to fix the Windows 10 store. That's his future. Nothing about the games. Nothing about the studios that he mentioned earlier on. about making great content. They're going to fix the Windows 10 store. Fucking thing needs fixing. But I'm telling you right now, they could fix. I'm telling you, the PC mindset of the PC gamer, they could fix that Windows 10 store, shimmer and shine it all they want. They will wait you out until that shit goes to Steam. Because that's where the library is. You will just be like an Origin store. But you got to fix it. The Windows 10 store is trash. It's horrible. And he talks about social and stuff. The Xbox is an app. They did actually what they did. And know what happens? I'm going to tell you, Gregor. They're going to fix Windows 10. And when they fix Windows 10, it's going to come out with Windows 10 2. Or the next one. So that's the problem with Microsoft, is that they're a moving target. Like, nothing stays still. They'll be trying to fix something, and then all of a sudden an update will come out and be like, oh, but we want to use this. And what I want to know, when do we just stop fucking fixing shit? Was shit that broken that was still fixing shit? He's like the fucking repairman. Like, maybe shit don't need fixing. Maybe you just need to just start making some fucking content. Like, I just don't, like, I'm fixing this. I fix this. I fix it. What are you fixing? You gave people a $500 console with no content and has said third party, do what you want with it. And you gave mediocre titles from your first party studios. That's why people say these studios. Look at the Rare. Look what Rare gave us. Amazing studio, the power of Microsoft. And that's what Rare gave us. State of Decay 2, working exclusively on Microsoft. Oh my God, State of Decay 2, that studio. And they gave us State of Decay 2. Undead Labs, that's what they gave us. So you're telling me that all these other developers are going to fare much better? You're telling me that these studios are growing? Oh, they hired 600 people? Well, tell me about what the fuck the 450 people at 343 are doing. That is the biggest studio they got. What the fuck are those 400 people doing? You telling me they're hiring 600 people for these studios. What the fuck are they doing? They're fixing Master Chief Collection. That's what they're doing with their resourcing. Fixing Master Chief Collection. You got 500 fucking people at 343 fixing games. The Coalition, what are they doing? All hands on deck for Gears 5? No expansion? Oh, no, they're making 3 games. They're taking resourcing and making it into mobile. They're making it into a PC exclusive game. Just look at the studios that they have and how they're managing them and the content that's coming out of those studios. The only one that's reliable is fucking Turn 10 and Playground. And all they've been doing is doing like a Madden. Like every other 2 years, they do another game. But they've been consistent. Their other studios are all over the place. I know. I thought they were going to announce more PC game things at this thing, but this event was so Game Pass focused that this was all about Game Pass. And I think that those things, Sunset's going to come out to PC by the end of this year. But that's what I want. I wanted to hear him. And the only person that said anything about bringing games to Xbox was Matt Booty. But Phil Spencer's on fucking Kumbaya, Dalai Lama, Gandhi land. Like, he is like out there. I don't know why he thinks he's God's gift to gaming, but yeah, whatever. Nice dude, but you know what? You got people want to choke you guys out. You got competition that wants to knock the shit out of you guys. And you want to sit there and say, regardless of platform, I don't care. Well, let me just do to the little tidbit that he does here.
You're going to get in there and tinker.
Yeah, tinker my ass. You didn't tinker. Here he goes. Hellblade, right?
We see what people are playing. I think it's just been a great thing for the creative community. We want as many kinds of games to be successful.
I can say I can't wait, obviously, for finding out from Matt where exactly it's going to be.
on all the platforms. It's shipped on, which is great. So coming to PlayStation.
Coming to PlayStation. Whoa, yeah. XO event. Coming to PlayStation.
And finding new ways to discover interesting talent.
Yeah, and kind of mixing up the genres as well. You might be like well into shooters, but actually like
He says Hellblade coming to PlayStation. Physical release.
Like what we see when people get into Game Pass is they actually play more games. They actually buy more games, which maybe seems counterintuitive.
I just think that he flew all the way down there.
Normally play. Like we watch that
for
this. See what people are playing. I think it's just been a great thing for the creative community. We want as many kinds of games to be successful as possible.
So obviously, you know, you guys are quite a few little studios here and there.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. When you acquire a studio, do you use like a comical sized check? Is it like really big?
Go.
Oh, it's tap and go.
Tap and go.
Oh, okay. So there's going to be a few, obviously, a few more. Obviously, Hellblade was a big theme. A little bit of news around that particular time.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things people know, Hellblade coming to retail on all the platforms.
Yes.
It's shipped on, which is great. So coming to PlayStation.
Oh, and Game Pass too, right? The big announcement: Hellblade coming to Game Pass. The stupid crowd.
I mean, it's a game that highly rated. I think everybody should play. Tells an important story from a studio that we obviously love. And you talk about studios that we bring in. It's about that cultural fit from us. Do we have something to add to the studio? And it's really fun to not only see what Ninja Theory's done in the past, but to look
Coming to
forward to
PlayStation, yeah.
that might come.
And then some other little inklings to do with studios, maybe?
Yeah, I think we have Matt Booty on the show.
That's there. So, Matt Booty's on the show. Got the booty. I'm just like, but I just know that's not what we're gonna hear from him. Like, yeah, it is what it is. Like, he's not saying it's the and the thing is that it's all about the content and them bringing content to their platform. And I just don't understand why people don't get that. It's like, why is it acceptable that they don't focus on bringing unique content, man? They would bring, like, you got to say what makes it special. And the thing is that he's trying to pull out so much of just everybody plays everywhere, regardless of platform. And when he's saying regardless of platform now, we initially took it as, PC and Windows and PC and Xbox. I'm telling you, he's talking about, like, he just said regardless of platform. He said crossplay. He's talking about everything. He's talking about Nintendo. He's talking about Sony. And to cheer to that, that's good. You know, good for gaming. But the thing is that would be great if you were a third party. If Microsoft just said, hey, you know, we're Game Pass, we're making some great games, play them wherever you want to play, and just get out of the console business. Because it's hard to sell a dedicated gaming platform when you're giving people only the preferred place to play, not a reason to play on it. And why does it matter, Jez? Why does it matter? I've always said the reason why it matters is for developer mindshare. Because you get bonuses when people want to make stuff for your platform. When people want to explore the power of your platform. Nobody's going to sit there and use the power of your platform when you are not even selling. Your competition is outselling you over 3-1, 2-1, globally present. And then you got another competition coming up that's just going to surpass you. Look at all the support the Switch is getting. Look at the Wii U, look at the Switch. Look at the difference of how mindshare affects that. And where games go, where content goes, where support goes. So Microsoft needs to see the position that they're in. Sony was in that position, but they weren't as behind in the PlayStation 3. They caught up. But the thing is that they realized that, you know, 360 was getting the support, the third party, just natural support games, primary platform. They went heavy in their own studios and their content. And Sony's doing that right now. And when people say this, and, you know, this is a kind of off topic from the XO18, but like, well, not really, but the studio stuff. When they say, like, you are, you know, forget about this gen. This is for next gen. There's a problem there. The problem is that I think besides any other generation, this generation is going to be so slow-moving, transitory from this generation to next generation that you need momentum going into the generation. See, Nintendo just stopped the Wii U and made the Switch. But they had the games coming out for the Switch, plus they had the mobility factor of it. They changed the game. But Microsoft is going in with unproven studios, and we don't know what they're making, into trying to sell you another $500-$600 console. So with people going like, oh, these games will be ready at launch and all this other stuff, that's not Microsoft. Microsoft's not going to have and the thing is that when that launches, you're going to be able to play those games on your PC day one. You're going to be able to probably stream those games on your phone on Game Pass. Those games are going to be accessible anywhere. So who's lining up for a launch console? Unless Phil comes out and goes, that's all bullshit. There are games only made for the next generation. We're not putting those games anywhere else at first. They're going to be on the platform first. That's what he needs to do for next generation. If you want to say Microsoft has anything for next generation, he has to come out and go, we're going to have Scarlet-only games, and they're only going to go to that platform first, and then they'll go to PC. Because nobody's going to line up for a console when you could get it on PC, on phone, when it's playable everywhere. The urgency to get that console is going to be for people that are crazy, maybe those psycho fans that are down there that were paid to do it. But that's the problem. And the adoption rate of the next console. Well, if Sony comes out and goes PlayStation 5, oh my God, here you go, PlayStation 5. These games only playable on PlayStation 5, just like Spider-Man only playable on PlayStation. That drives sales. That drives people into ecosystem. Phil thinks the console is just a dead weight. It doesn't make money. It's all about the services and the games. Then just get out of the console business. But if you have that mindset, how the hell are you supposed to sell a console, the beast, the most powerful console in the world, when you go, the console doesn't matter? That's the biggest problem I have. I don't care where you play. The console doesn't matter. We don't make money on the console stuff. The console's not lucrative. It's all about selling games. But here's the beast. There it is. Launch hype. When the head of the gaming company is saying, I don't care, and then trying to sell you the piece of plastic, it makes no sense. Their messaging is all over the place. And that's the biggest problem. So we'll see how they change their tone. If they change their tone moving into next generation, maybe they'll be competitive. But if they keep the same tone as they move into next generation, nothing's going to change. And it doesn't sound like this is going to change. It doesn't sound like they're going to change this vision, because it would be the biggest 180 if he just comes out and just is yeah, all that kumbaya shit, we're done. Now we're the boss. It's all about games and exclusivity on this console. Scarlet is the only place to play these games. Then we'll know that all the bullshit that we've been hearing for the last 3 years was in fact bullshit. It was just pacifying the situation. They have no content. They have no games. They just bought some studios. They're in a waiting period right now. And that's kind of where we're at right now. And they try to make fake news, pretending, hyping up some stuff to pretend they got something. But really, right now, they should just be in hibernation right now. They should just be sitting back, just doing what they want to do. My thing is that they don't need to start from ground zero. They have what? Everybody talking about how much money Microsoft has. Why don't you do a partnership? What happened? And this is where I have the problem with XO18 and why it was a piece of shit show. There was Ashen, Below, Battletoads, games that they already announced that needed this stuff, that needed a platform to be shown. But Microsoft prioritized Game Pass over those games, even though some of those games are going into Game Pass. But prioritized Game Pass and prioritized multiplats. Again, Kingdom Hearts 3. They shipped the guy out to Mexico to talk about Kingdom Hearts 3, and he doesn't even talk about fucking Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 remaster going to Xbox. And Sony got that console locked down with all the whole thing, and they got the remastered versions of the two. And right, Burgundy, I agree. But you want to know why? When he came out at E3 and Phil Spencer announced those studios and the pop that he got, he realized that that's what the Xbox fans wanted. So he used it as, oh, well, let's have Inside Xbox, and our big announcement will be another studio, because guess what? Everybody seemed to love it at E3. This is why people need to have fucking backbone and realize that these are studio announcements. This is nice. This is a golf clap, but this is not a game. You don't know what they're making. You don't know what genre they're making. You don't know what platform they're making it on. But you cheer like it's a fucking game. It's not a game. But because everybody was jerking off all over E3 when he announced 5 studios and jerking off about it for the last fucking 4 months, he said, let's do it again. Let's do it again. That's what the fans wanted. Let's announce another studio. And guess what? Next E3, they won't have any fucking games. They'll do another studio. They'll keep announcing studios. Hilarious. And then when those studios come out and go, here's our PC-only fucking game, I want to see those people cheering. Oh, that's okay. It'll come to Xbox. It'll come to Xbox. Gears Tactics. Oh, it's going to come to Xbox with keyboard and mouse support. Oh, is it, motherfucker? Is it? Because I want to see Microsoft release a keyboard and mouse only game on an Xbox console. Please, show me that fucking day. Unless they start shipping Xboxes with a fucking keyboard and mouse and no controller, show me that day that keyboard and mouse only game on a console. It'll have 2 fucking people on it. So tell me that. Keyboard and mouse had nothing to do with Age of Empires or Gears Tactics going to console. That is a business decision to drive PC sales. Get it in your fucking head. That is a business move. It has nothing to do with controllers. They wanted to make a PC-focused game. And what's PC? Keyboard and mouse. Well, where the fuck is Gears Tactics then? Where is it? Where's Age of Empires? Oh, they added it to Fortnite. Oh, guess what? Look at that. Keyboard and mouse support is just a fucking option. It's just another way to play. So there's no games that are being held up, because I doubt Microsoft will release a game that's only keyboard and mouse for their dedicated Xbox platform console. That's a fucking joke. Nobody will play it because the console doesn't ship with a keyboard and mouse. It's an option. And it's an option that gonna die. Just like watching TV on your Xbox. Remember streaming TV to your phone? That hot pods, like they were selling TV. They got rid of the DVR, but you could stream TV over their antenna to your phone. Remember that? Well, that's going away. Nobody fucking used it. But you could watch TV on your Xbox. You could stream it to your phone. Nobody's doing it. Get rid of it. You could tell your Xbox on. Xbox, record that. Xbox, buy me a fucking pizza. That's gone. You could snap and watch ESPN while you're playing your hockey game. You could watch, guess what? Nobody supported it anymore. It's gone. Oh, it's coming back. Yeah, it's coming back. It's not going to come back. All the shit, all the stuff that people like, they promoted, Xbox on, this, that. Now we're just using Alexa. Oh, but no, Cortana's better than Xbox on. Cortana's going to tell you the weather. Cortana, the guy for Cortana just left 2 weeks ago. He's gone. And they're going all in with Amazon Alexa because Google won't give them a fucking peace of mind at all. But all this promises, all this is the future. This is the X Cloud. All this promises shit. Microsoft throws shit against the wall to see what sticks, and then they dump it. So please stop trusting them so much to think that they are genuine in delivering the best thing for you, because they'll take it right from underneath your nose. So stop telling people the future is talking to your Xbox. What are you talking about? Microsoft says no. The future is Kinect. Movement. Nobody wants a controller. Barriers. Removing barriers. Yeah, it's gone. So keyboard and mouse support coming to Xbox. That's going to bring over all these games. No. OG Xbox backwards compatibility. Announced at E3. Guess how many games we got this year? 12. Do you think they announced them at an Xbox event? Oh, it's so great to share news. Why won't you have an Xbox event? You don't talk about Halo. You don't talk about Gears. You don't talk about original Xbox games. You don't talk about anything Xbox except Game Pass. And these people are hooting and hollering like fucking hyenas. Fake ass bullshit. Because they didn't celebrate Xbox at this XO event. Xbox was not celebrated. This wasn't a celebration. This was a fucking goat and pony show. This was bullshit. And you want to know more bullshit? Gregor, Crackdown. The cloud is bullshit. They flew. Let's talk about Crackdown 3. They flew Joseph Staten, the guy who created Halo Story, flew his ass to Mexico City to sit on the fucking stage and show a 1-minute trailer of Crackdown multiplayer, Wrecking Crew, and show, it might as well have been an Old Spice commercial, Terry Crews's commercial, and then they flew that motherfucker back. We haven't seen Crackdown multiplayer in fucking years. And if you look at that Crackdown multiplayer, what they showed in the trailer at E3 about 3-4 years ago, and what they showed yesterday, Crackdown 3 Wrecking Crew is a copy of Halo 5 Arena Mode with the launch pad and everything. And it looks like Tron. It looks like, and I don't know if it's just that map, but it looks like a Forge map. It looks like just a bunch of glass bullshit houses and bullshit like bullshit bridges and stuff like that that's just destroyed. What they showed with the power of the cloud was that the buildings, it looked like a city actually. It had streets. It looked like a city. And buildings were coming down with the explosions. There's no explosions. This thing just showed like it was basically what is it? A gorilla. It was basically Gorilla, the remastered, basically. The what is it? The Red Faction. That's what it was. It was just crumbling material. Now, when they showed it at E3 a bunch of years back, that building came down, explosions and everything, and the rubble, they made a point in the demo that the rubble existed on the ground because every single piece was calculated by the cloud. It didn't disappear. Now, I don't know if this rubble sticks around, but what it looks like is just looks like something that doesn't need to be done by a cloud. I think they're just talking out their ass. Like it looks like just regular kind of collapsible physics. But the destruction aside, that multiplayer looks boring as fuck. And if you played Crackdown 2 multiplayer, it's the same it's the same thing. You lock on, you're jumping, lock on. You could be spinning around shooting. It is lock on. That's it. That's the game. Lock on and shoot. There's no skill. There's not going to be any skill to that. It's all going to be about mobility and destruction. It is a tech demo. And unfortunately, Crackdown is never really known for their multiplayer. And you'll see why. Because that multiplayer is going to be neat. I think people are going to try it. I think it's weird as hell that they're two separate apps. But I think it looks all right. But the aesthetics of that multiplayer, it doesn't look like a city. It looks like a Forge map of just bullshit like glass houses. And it looked like there was no traffic. There were no pedestrians. There was no it didn't look like there was any like these were apartments where there was like furniture in the rooms, or it just looked like just empty houses. Like it just looked like empty, just kind of Forge maps. It didn't look like a city at all. It just looked like a virtual world, like a virtual playground. And I think the payoff of waiting for this long to see, like, it was almost like he just came down and go, yeah, we're doing it. The destruction's still there. Yay. Like, I don't understand why that trailer could have been shown at E3 with the single player trailer. Like, I don't understand why we had to wait to XO18. And I think Crackdown 3 deserved a deep dive. Like, it deserved like more stage time at Inside Xbox than anything ever that needed to go on there. Like, the amount of time that Phil Spencer talked out his fucking pie hole should have been more discussions of Crackdown and what the story is and what you're going to do in the story and what the co-op looks like. And, maybe have somebody demo Crackdown on stage in front of the die-hard Xbox fans that are all lined up in Mexico City wanting to see the next big game that comes out from Microsoft Studios in February, right? Nah. Let's just have Joseph Staten come out. Yeah, we're making Crackdown. Here's a 1-minute trailer. It's playable. See you later. That's them. Instead of having somebody playing the game as he's talking about it, going through a multiplayer game at one of the fucking demo stations and showing us the gameplay and showing us the weapons and showing us the objectives and showing us that horrible lock-on. Why didn't they do a deep dive into Crackdown? This is it. Instead, they got a bunch of numb-headed fucking people out there that don't even give a shit what's going on with Xbox. I think they were just paid fucking just like actors to just stand there and act fucking retarded. Because there was nothing they should have went into Crackdown. They should have shown it. They should have talked about the multiplayer. I thought they were going to have Terry Crews. They didn't have Terry Crews there. But talk about the game. You brought Joseph Staten down there. He came out of fucking hibernation. The last time you saw him, I think it was on Halo. And he went to Bungie and he came back. And he comes down there to show a 1-minute trailer of multiplayer. They needed to go into Crackdown more. This was the Crackdown in-depth review of Crackdown at XO. But you know what they're going to do? They're probably streaming on Mixer and Now for the weekend and blah, 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 blah. And people might play it and we'll see what's going on with it. But regarding to the Xbox Inside Xbox show, that's the shit they need to focus on. A new game that comes out. Don't show me a game that came out 2 months ago and I want to see Sea of Thieves fucking more coverage of Sea of Thieves. First off, that Sea of Thieves announcement with the arena mode, the combat in Sea of Thieves is the worst thing ever. And people know that. That's why they don't want it. The hand-to-hand combat and the shooting is boring as hell. The hit detection, the reaction to the shots, like it sucks. Who the hell wants to have a mode just with that? It makes no sense. And then you got the State of Decay guys coming down to Inside Xbox, and they come down and they go, "Oh yeah, we're working on stuff." "Oh really? What are you working on?" "We can't share it right now." Then what the fuck are you doing here? Chris Chawla. "Oh, we got Inside Xbox. Yeah, the ID at Xbox. Yeah, we got the Xbox. Oh, so what games are coming? We're gonna have Winter of Arcade. What games are coming?" "Oh, I can't do that. I can't tell you right now." The fuck are you doing here? Matt Booty comes on stage. "Oh yeah, we got all those studios. We bought all those studios. Yeah, we got all those studios. We're working on those studios. We got all those studios working on games." "Oh, can you give it? So what are they making? Anything? Can't talk about right now, but they're making games." Then what the fuck are you doing here? That's what I don't understand. You tease an event to get people to tease more stuff. Well, I can tell you right now, there's one shit game that's coming right now, but I can't talk about anything else. Then get the fuck out of here. Like, you act like this is what happens. They fly these fuckers down to these events. These executives and these fucking stupid ass developer people fly them down to fucking Mexico, and they interviewed them like they caught them on the fucking street. Like, oh shit, let me tap you on the shoulder, Charlie. Tell me what you're working on. Oh, I can't talk about it right now. Motherfucker, you were rehearsed. You had rehearsals. They built the fucking stage. You knew the questions you were getting asked. How the fuck do you come out there and say, I can't tell you what I'm doing? Tell me, chat, please. This is the shit that grinds my fucking gears. They tease the carrot of no fucking news. If you have nothing to show, then I said it before. Shut the fuck up. Please. If there's nothing to talk about, if you got people still moving their luggage into a studio, then shut the fuck up. Do what PlayStation did. Cancel your fucking events. Don't create new events. Cancel your shit. And come back when you got your fucking balls dropped. What's up, Jemiah? Because the balls haven't dropped yet. So shut the fuck up. Please. You got these people on stage, fucking crowds and all this other stuff, and you get these executives, you get these developers out there, Sea of Thieves guys, you talk to these fucking people, like, and then you interview them, and they go, I can't talk about, we're working on stuff, but I can't really share with you right now. Stay tuned. Oh, I got one more announcement. Oh, really? What it is? Oh, check out SeaofThieves.com website. We'll have a little event over there. Get the fuck out of here. People. Wait a second. I don't want you people in chat to think that your boy Jez is talking out his ass. I don't talk out my ass. Listen.
Someone's going to be kind of competing with you, trying to get the treasure that you're getting, or you're going to...
Where's this fucking dope?
A few times, so it's good to see you down here in Mexico City. So tell us about Zed Hunter. What's new with it?
State of Decay.
Zed Hunter is a new free update coming to State of Decay 2. First and foremost, features crossbows.
Before I need to talk about Zed Hunter.
What I want to know is how has the game evolved since launch and what's changed?
Wait.
So we to challenge themselves and stay.
No more about you. Well, now.
Here, watch this. Hear this.
We want fans to be ready to plan to challenge themselves and State of Decay 2. So they asked for it. We're coming with an answer for it.
I was going to say, what's next?
What's next? So we've got a free update planned for early 2019.
All right.
That's going to allow players to experience new challenges, new ways of surviving with their communities.
So what are they?
Experience that content with your existing communities.
Oh, man. What they cheering for? No fucking.
2019, it's going to get a lot harder to survive in the apocalypse.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so
I got
much.
one more sneaky trailer.
Oh my God, what is it?
So we're not going to say a whole lot about it, but we got something special planned. We want fans to be ready to return to Trumbull Valley in 2019. Go check out State of Decay.
All right. There it is.
Go check out StateOfDecay.com. What the fuck? I got one more piece of news. Go check out StateOfDecay.com. And we got stuff coming out in early 2019. Listen, it's November 2018. Okay? Oh, we got community stuff coming out. We got all this stuff. And the people are cheering like fucking numbskulls. And he's not telling anything. I can't talk about it right now. What the fuck? We flew you down to fucking Mexico. What, for a fucking taco? Like, I don't...
that we let play things early. Right. Once we get into Pioneers, we're going to turn around and let...
Like, I don't understand.
Things we've done, some of the, I guess, hints of what's to come. We're also going to talk about our update dropping in November, which is Shrouded Spoils. So we'll give a bit more information about what's coming in that tomorrow.
Amazing. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for joining.
Like, not information tomorrow. Talk about it now. Like, you got the attention. There were like, what? How many people watching this fucking thing? This is what you need to go into. Like, why are you teasing more teasers? Oh, tune in tomorrow. Oh, we got something for next year. Stay tuned. Go to our website in early next year. Like, what? You're at this event. This is the event. You don't have an event to tease another event. Phil Spencer's coming on Inside Xbox. Phil Spencer's coming on Inside Xbox. He comes on Inside Xbox to talk about XO18. Like, it's stall tactics. It's stall tactics because if they had something, if they had shit, they would show it there. They show it now. That will be the highlight of the show. But it is all just Inside Xbox evolved. Like, it's basically Microsoft right now is what Inside Xbox is. They are just stalling. They are delay tactics. They are pretending there is news when there is no news. And because they got this, wait until the Video Game Awards, and then wait the Video Game Awards, and then wait to E3 again. Oh, E3 is going to be huge next year because they're going to have those studios are going to be making games. Meanwhile, the fucking people were telling me for XO18, oh, we're going to see Ninja Theory's new game. Oh, the studios they announced we're going to have their new games. And then new shit. New nothing. No Fable. No Fable confirmed. They didn't even announce fucking Fable. But the thing is that the crowd, nonetheless, it wasn't genuine enough to, even if they had a Fable announcement, that crowd, you would think you get a real reaction. Like when anything kind of like when Sony was doing it, like the people would cheer and like there's fanboys there. They'll cheer, but these people are actually ridiculous. Exactly, Greg. They're like, and that's the thing that gets me. Like, there was some news in this event, but the amount of bullshit and the amount of just like teasing and stuff like that, it just muffled the whole news, the whole thing. And that's why this Inside Xbox needs to go. Like, it needs to go. Like, it is a travesty because it is not a great news delivery system. Like, it is not. It is a joke. And if they just say, hey, you know what? We got 28,000 people watching on Mixer, so call that a day. And if they want to take that win to give us this bullshit, I don't know what fool is going to sit there and listen to this crap anymore. Like, how many Inside Xboxes have we been duped on? They had no PSX. There was no PlayStation was nowhere to be found. Yeah, and Jemai, on top of that, like, this was a Game Pass ad. This was all about Game Pass. And on top of that, they had commercials for Game Pass. They had commercials inside this thing. Like, they would announce something, and then they would have, like, the jump in commercial. They'll have a Game Pass commercial. They would just have commercials inside a commercial. It was a commercial inside a commercial. That's what they had. It was absolutely atrocious. It was a joke. It shows that they still don't have anything really legitimate to talk about. They're going to try to pacify you with Game Pass and backwards compatibility announcements until next generation. And then we'll see at next generation if they're serious about the console, if they're going to go back to the console exclusives when they actually have exclusives, when they have games, or they're still going to do this all fuck shit with PC and Xbox and mobile and Windows gaming everywhere, which that's where they're going to go. And when the games are on PC, I can't see how you continue to sell a console. And if you can't sell a console, then you're right back into 20 million, 30 million, 40 million while your competition just flies ahead of you. And that's the thing. Next generation, like, people just need to realize, like, next generation, if Microsoft continues this narrative, next generation is dead for them. It's dead. Because if you think that the Scarlet comes out and Microsoft is releasing those games and they're playable in Game Pass on PC day one, You're talking 2 years from now. PC on day one. If Halo Infinite is a launch title for Xbox Scarlet and you could play it that night at midnight on PC, you're talking 2 years from now. PCs are going to get more powerful. Your basic PCs are going to be capable of playing some games, if not already. 2 years from now. Or you could play a Scarlet sitting on the toilet bowl on your phone with a controller, and if it works as well as everybody says, you won't even know the difference. Then who's lining up for the next console? If you could play all those games on all the devices by midnight, who's going to spend $600 to play Halo Infinite? Who? That's the conundrum that they have right now. How do you sell a dedicated gaming platform when the games are everywhere? It's like launching a console with all multiplats. What makes your console special? Why do I have to buy your console? And say, like, well, what does that matter to you? That's the question that everybody asks when you go out to a store. Why should I buy this tablet over this tablet? Why should I buy this computer over this computer? Why should I buy this TV over this TV? Why is this Sony TV worse than this Samsung TV? Why is this LG TV better than this TV? That's storefront. That's consumerism. They want to know they're getting the best money for the value. They want to know what they're getting, what they're paying. They want to know what they're doing. Well, this TV only has this special mode for gaming. This one has a better refresh rate only for this. This one has a better one for content. This one, you need to know what makes you special. Exactly. And then iPads, computers, all this stuff is going to get more powerful. And that's the thing. Like, Microsoft is in such a position right now. This kumbaya gaming everywhere. How do you sell another console? And I'm going to tell you, if you look at how the X launched, the X launch is going to be Scarlet remastered, basically. You launch the console without games that are playable exclusively on that console. You made no games that take the advantage of the power of that console. And the games that you put on that console are playable everywhere. And shout out, I forgot, Chief, thanks for reminding me. I wanted to go on was they invited me today. I feel so bad. I have family stuff going on in the afternoon that I couldn't attend their show. I wish I could, but I'll be on another time. But yeah, I wanted to go on there and talk to those guys. Those guys are great. They're great. Over there, and I wish I wanted to go on, but I got some family stuff. That's why I did this thing early today. I just wanted to get my opinion out there before I just go at the family things I got to do. But yeah, I wanted to go on. They invited me on, but yeah, it's the thing is that people will take from this event and what Microsoft's doing, but you got to look at it from a realistic point of view. It's the elves, the wins, the this and that, the banter between fanboys and stuff like that. It is what it is. You have a preferred platform. I used to have Xbox as my preferred platform, and then they kind of just said, you know what? There's better options out there. I got a gaming PC. I could tinker on whatever Xbox has, and PlayStation was offering amazing games. And you know what? I just switched my stuff, and I was playing on the PlayStation these games because I'm not going to deprive myself of great games and great experiences because I'm going to sit and wait for somebody to get their shit together. And that's the way I feel about it. It's like, I don't have enough. We only have certain time to play and things like that. I don't have time to sit around. Like when I had my Xbox, I was bored to tears. I was just waiting for the next game, and multiplats were it. It was like, when's the next multiplat coming out? And it's amazing when you have so many different exclusives. And I'm talking about VR games. I'm talking about like Tetris and Astrobot and everything. Like the PlayStation has it all. And if they just take it all, I'm just amazed of the amount of gaming and games that they supply. That a multiplat game, I'm not buying every multiplat game because I'm playing so many games that are just coming out just for the system that I'm still on those. Like I don't need to run out and get Assassin's Creed because I'm playing Dragon Quest. Like there's so many games that just come to this platform that I'm like, and then I even get into some of the VR games. And that's the thing. Like, I just finished Spider-Man and stuff like that. Like, I couldn't. And then the DLC comes out. I'm playing that Spider-Man stuff. Like, and it's just, there's so many games that you get it under one roof that it is ridiculous to sit and wait and hope that Microsoft gets their shit together. They got a lot of work to do. Like, people think they got it solved. They don't. Microsoft is fighting an uphill battle right now in the gaming department. That's why they're merging all their gaming shit together. Like, whatever the 360 was, that's never going to happen again unless they change it. But the best place to play Microsoft games is the PC. And you can say, well, gaming is expensive, $1,000. You want to know what? It's the best. The thing is that it's so crazy, but you cannot. You're going to pay a subscription. You're waiting for games at a lot. Like, they are giving you games. They're giving all their services for free on the computer, on a cell phone. They're giving all that stuff away. But they're putting that overhead and that premium tax charge of Xbox Live on the console. And let me ask you this. At an Xbox event, XO18 to celebrate Xbox, did you hear Xbox Live and service feature of Xbox Live or anything that they're doing? And that's where it is. The innovation at Microsoft gaming and services is dead. It's dead. Who's the people that did 1 versus 100, the original Battle Royale game? Who was the person that developed Xbox Live Arcade and made an arcade machine? Like, who made Party Chat? Who did, like why? Where is the innovation on the online space from the people who created online, the people who embraced online console gaming? You have a closed environment of people paying subscriptions. Where's the evolving of Xbox Live? Online experiences. Like, how the hell did Xbox not come out with a Battle Royale or game mode before PUBG decided to do it? Like, where's that innovation? Where was Microsoft to find Hellblade and go, we want that game on our platform? Instead, they let Sony have it for a year, make a million of a Sony, and then they go, well, it's a cool game. We're buying you now. Where was your vision? Where was the person that says that game belongs here? Where was the person that found Titanfall and said, we want that on our platform? That belongs here. See, what I don't understand is Microsoft can make those things, those deals, to make games and content for Game Pass, for the console. They don't have to buy a studio from scratch and say, well, it's going to be 4 years before we make a game. Why are they not shopping around? Why are they not getting games? Why are they not partnering with people to make a Conquer, to make a Battletoads, to make a Perfect Dark? Contract it out, work on this stuff. Make some games for us while we rebuild. Why is it this all or nothing? Like, there are no games and we got studios to make games years from now. Why isn't Microsoft being aggressive on the content front, especially if content is driving Game Pass, to get games, to make little games? Like, you got that Lucky Tales bullshit. How the fuck can you not get them to make a Conquer game? How can you not make them use your IP? How can you not make them make... Where's Battletoads? Why wasn't Battletoads here at this Xbox event? Like, where was Battletoads? That's an IP. And you know what? I hear, what? Ninja Theory is split into 3 studios making 3 fucking games, and everybody's making 2 and 4 games. These studios, they're hiring. I hear all this bullshit from everybody, and they're telling me more stuff about Microsoft than Microsoft's telling me about them. Microsoft just had a 2-hour fucking show, and I heard somebody talking about how they know what the studios are making, and fucking Matt Booty didn't tell us. But they know. A fucking random YouTuber knows what the fuck Microsoft's doing, but Microsoft won't share it in a 2-hour fucking dedicated event. Come on. It's all bullshit. All this fucking hyperbole that, their studio was but they're making multiple games. They're making 3 and 4 games. Are they? Are they now? I just sat through a 2-hour fucking snorefest. And I still don't know. The shit that I went in with is the same shit I came out with. That's the problem with this shit. And then you come out of this and you go, they'll share some news early next year. I'm going to tell you something I don't even give a fuck about, but I'm going to just give an example. Inside Xbox, Phil Spencer comes on, talks about keyboard and mouse support coming to Xbox, right? Then the motherfucker says, I'm going to share more about it at Gamescom, at XO18. They come out with an Xbox Wire going, more games will be announced. At the Inside Xbox, Phil Spencer goes, and we're partnering with Razer. More information to come at Inside Xbox. XO18. He said it. At Inside Xbox, when he announced XO18, we're going to talk more about our Razer partnership with the keyboard and mouse at XO18. The motherfucker comes to XO18, talks about keyboard and mouse support, and then says, we're going to show the Razer fucking keyboard and mouse wireless thing at CES in January. That's the shit that grinds my fucking gears. You got to be the here and fucking now. Stop teasing teasers to teasing the teasing and being fucking dick teasers. Stop it. Just shut the fuck up. Go into your fucking hibernation at Microsoft fucking Studios and rebuild your piece of fucking shit and make me know that you're worth a fucking damn. Because right now, you are fucking useless. Everybody wants an Xbox Classic. You got one. It's called the fucking Xbox One X. That's all it is, a fucking classic. It plays old-ass motherfucking games and indie bullshit. That's what they are. But that's the shit that gets me because they go out there, they go, more to come next month. And then they come out next month and go, yes, there's a keyboard in it. More to come next month. I can't talk about it right now. Shut the fuck up. Stop doing the stall tactics. And then you got these fucking fans, these people going crazy, making up bullshit stories. Banjo IP got renewed. Banjo's going to be in Smash. That didn't happen. Well, then they're going to make a Banjo game. That didn't happen. Ashton's going to be there. They're releasing in October. They hinted. Holy shit. Aaron Greenberg. Oh my God. He tweeted. He was at Ninja Theory. He took a shit in their fucking bathroom. Oh my God. What are they going to announce? Their new game. He probably went over there to show them the fucking case of the physical release. That's probably why he went over there. Aaron Greenberg wasn't doing shit. He went over there to say, yo, here's what the green case looks like. Physical release on PlayStation. Who the fuck knows Ashton? They're probably going to show Ashton at the Game Awards that will have any fucking news. They're bullshit. Why don't they show what the fuck Ashton is, right? Why don't they have somebody playing the fucking game? Hey, Inside Xbox, you want a fucking hint? Why don't you give it one of those 1 million fucking controllers that you make, put it in one of these motherfuckers' hands on stage to play a fucking Xbox game? How about that for a fucking hint? Let me get one of these 1 billion fucking controllers right here, put it in your fucking hand, and you could play the fucking game. How's that for an Inside Xbox? Fable's going to be there. They're going to announce Fable at XO18. Why would they have such an event? They got to have some news. This is a perfect example of how when you feed the beast bullshit, the beast is going to bullshit on you. People jerked off on Phil Spencer at E3 about studio announcements. So the motherfucker goes, hey, that's what the people want. I don't have to announce any games. I don't got to show anything. They just want to hear about who we bought. They're checking. I'm so glad we bought LinkedIn because we got so much engagement on LinkedIn of motherfuckers finding who I'm hiring for these studios. It's amazing. And that's what they do. People are celebrating HR fucking wins. Oh, they hired somebody. They hired Santa Claus. They hired the Riddler. They hired this guy. They hired this guy who drew the dick on the fucking character in Red Dead Redemption. Holy shit. He's here. He works now for Microsoft. He was the dick artist. Oh my God, he's great. The graphic designer that developed the shit physics that came out of the horse's ass on Red Dead Redemption. He's working for Microsoft now. So great to have that talent. You know, the way that shit comes out that horse's ass on fucking Red Dead. We're so glad we got that graphic designer right now, and he's now working for fucking Microsoft Studios. The guy that put the hair on the 4K horse nuts. Holy shit, he's working for the initiative now. Oh my God. Celebrate. And Phil Spencer saw that celebration. He saw everybody being happy about them hiring people and hiring studios. Like the fucking handing out jobs. So what he did? He teased the fucking news as the headliner of this event. And you see how even the paid crowd was exhausted by the end. Because when he announced those two fucking studios, it was like two people going, huh? The headliner, the big news, the motherfuckers teased it on a little snapshot, new studio announcements on a bullet point, PowerPoint bullet point at the end of the fucking presentation of XO18. As like new studio announcements as the last thing, the headliner, Matt Booty coming to stage like fucking Santa Claus in the Thanksgiving fucking parade. That's what it was like. Troll his ass out there like fucking Santa Claus in the Thanksgiving parade. And he talks about he bought two studios. The crowd was like, Meanwhile, they're going, feel. Sea of Thieves. They couldn't pay them enough money to know who the fuck these studios are to even give a shit. It's fucking stupid. But they didn't show any games. They didn't show a deep dive in a Crackdown. They didn't show Battletoads. They didn't show shit. But Phil Spencer saw how excited everybody got about Microsoft hiring people. That's good. So he made it the headliner of XO18. And now you could all sleep in bed. You could tuck your obsidian under your fucking pillows. In excess with Bard's Tale under your fucking pillows. And have sugar plums of games that they might make in your head as you sleep for the next 3 fucking years. They flew Joseph Staten down to fucking Crackdown to show a 1-minute trailer. That's what they did. He's the guy who wrote the story. And they showed him down the multiplayer trailer, which showed glass houses and forge maps. That was no city. That was a virtual fucking environment. That reminded me of a VR fight mode. Like some bullshit. Like that's what it looked like. I hope that's just a map look. I hope there's like a map that looks like a city, like what they showed. Because that map did not look like a city. It looked like a forge map, and it looked like some VR environment of just glass houses that broke down. It looked nothing like it. And the lock-on makes it look like this is just going to be Crackdown 2, hold the button and shoot, no skill ever. People are going to try it once, see what they can take down, and move on. And if you want to know what Crackdown 3 is in multiplayer, please just go download Guerrilla, Red Faction Guerrilla, Remastered, and go play it. Because that game has the same destruction. And you can take down huge buildings and everything in multiplayer, which nobody plays, unfortunately, and single player. And it's a forge map. And they took exactly Halo 5 arena mode. It starts off with the jump pad, just like Halo 5. Exactly. Shooting pieces of walls with giant squares. It's basically Red Faction Guerrilla, which was technology from fucking 2008, 2007. But it is what it is. And Crackdown, Crackdown's a disaster. Like, it is. It has 2-player campaign, a 2-player thing. It looks all right. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be received just like Quantum Break was. They did the same thing with Quantum Break. Quantum Break was a generic guy. They tried to add some Hollywood talent to it, and it came out and it was all right, and it couldn't mask the gameplay. You could put Terry Crews in the game, but the thing is, if the gameplay is boring as shit, the gameplay is just explosions and this like, it's just bum. I think what's crazy is that I was all hyped up. I was like, let me see that multiplayer. That's what Crackdown was cool. Like, it hooked us with the multiplayer, and now it looks like that the campaign is probably the thing to be more excited about than the multiplayer. But the thing is, they didn't show enough of it. This was Crackdown's coming out. Like, this was Crackdown's show. And they showed less of Crackdown and had more bullshit talk about handing fucking birthday party hat consoles to a fucking random Mexican fan in the crowd. Like, it was just horrible. Like, I didn't even know what was going on. Like, it was so fake. What is this? Why did they do this? I don't understand it. And I'm going to tell you right now, XO19 or any of they have this bullshit again, they got to all have it in Mexico because they will not get that kind of hype anywhere else unless they're paid actors again. Like, they go to Germany or they go to like Europe, like they get people like that. I don't know if people will react like that. US, they won't. Unless they're paid people. But you know what? I think people go out of the. I don't know about. I know they're big and popular in Mexico. I know that. So maybe maybe some of it was genuine. I think some of it, a lot of it was staged. Like, you got to cheer now, chant, go, go, go. Like, they're rehearsed. But it just led to very obnoxious. Like, it wasn't even the fact they were cheering. It was that they were cheering over the people that you couldn't even hear what they were announcing because they were just saying stupid shit. And like, you didn't even know what they were talking about. Like, you couldn't even react to it because the people were going crazy. Like, I would love for them to take questions. Somebody go, is this whole XO event an April Fool's joke? Because it should have been. A late out of season April Fool's joke, because that's what I felt like. It was a dupe. But the show has to go. Like, it had, the studios are good. I think it's impressive that Microsoft's buying these studios. It's great that they're investing in Windows gaming. I'm going to say it again. Windows gaming. I'm glad they invested into gaming and Windows gaming. Microsoft gaming. But if I tie these studios to direct wins for Xbox getting premium, amazing exclusives, that's going to take time. And what I think is very interesting is how everybody just thinks that, since they bought the studio, they're going to come out with like an Uncharted 4. Hell, look at Guerrilla Studios with Killzone. Killzone 1, Killzone 2, good. Killzone 3, Killzone, that other, I don't know if they made the other Killzone. It takes time. Just look at Naughty Dog. Uncharted 1, yeah, it was okay. It wasn't what Uncharted 2 was. Uncharted 3, okay. Uncharted 4, holy shit. Lost Legacy, holy shit. Years for these studios to mature and grow. You think that this studio that they just bought out of the fucking whim is just going to come out with some banger, amazing game in 3 years that's going to be 90 Metacritic and take the world by storm? Look at Santa Monica Studios. How many games did they make? God of War 1, 2, all the other games that they made. It takes time for these studios to mature. It's not 3 years. They come out with a game is going to be the most amazing game ever. They're going to be growing pains. So you might not get a level of a God of War or a Naughty Dog game or something even along the lines of Halo from any of these studios if they become that big. Some of them are not even that big and they're not meant to be that big. But these studios are going to need time to mature. When you get the guy that the graphic artist of the Horse Nuts and the guy who did the physics of the horse shit, it's going to take them a while to put the horse together. You know, they got to work together. It takes time. It takes money. And it shows some investment from Microsoft. But when people automatically take this and think that, holy shit, they bought Obsidian, guess what? We're getting Fallout better than Bethesda. No. And the one thing I have to say about Obsidian is that they were good with licenses. So if Microsoft could give them an RPG license, maybe they'll work with it. But, you know, Alpha Protocol, like the games that they made on their own are not as renowned as Fallout New Vegas and South Park. You know, so they could handle those things. Like, but they don't own those IPs. You would wish they would get the South Park IP, and now be like, oh shit, South Park's coming to Xbox exclusively or something. Nah, they would just contract. So, you know, they're not really bringing anything, and that's the one thing that I think the only one really was Ninja Theory that actually brought an IP with them. Hellblade, Senua. All the other guys really didn't bring any IP with them. Like, they didn't bring, like, that's the thing. When you buy a studio, you think about what they own or what games that they made that they could bring back or evolve on. And unfortunately, all these studios they bought besides Ninja Theory really don't have any IP that they could, like, they could expand Senua, you know, Hellblade, and that would be great. But they don't have IPs. Like, they didn't buy these studios for their IP, which when you watch people buy studios, they buy them for the IPs that they own or like what they can get from them, the IPs, you know? But like they said in this thing, I think he said right here, and this one I thought was a little bit of a fail. I'm going to go back to XO right here.
Share some past going back. I really want to stress we're going to keep them unique and preserve the cultures that they've got. Now, something is second to none. I just can't.
Wait, I'm going to come to this part here.
Series. And of course, Bard's Tale 4 recently came out. It will be acquiring In Exile Entertainment in Newport Beach, California. Wow. So tell us a little bit about In Exile. Congratulations. Tell us about that studio, because there's quite a history.
That doesn't sound like the crazy crowd.
No, it's just a great studio made up of creative people really dedicated to the systems. It is second. Now, Obsidian, that's again another great studio. Tell us about all this kind of. Gotta feel great. You must feel really good about the future now, because you're looking way up the pipeline.
Way up the pipeline.
Just tremendously excited and privileged.
I'll tell you one more.
It's an honor to be able to work with such creative teams, and some of these teams are going to have games that are going to come out soon. They've had some things in the works, right. But mostly we feel really set up to give our fans new exclusive games for Xbox and a great pipeline of new things going into Game Pass.
They love all of the things you just.
And I'm going to tell you right there, I like what he said right there. That's what everybody that has an Xbox pin on them should say. That is, and I was like, whoa, I was like, oh, that's nice. But then he said something else that was kind of shitty. But that's
great pipeline of new things going into Game Pass.
That's what they love. They love all of
like.
Before I ever interviewed with the company.
I think like that.
Part of the Microsoft family.
That is great. Making exclusive games for Xbox, like that's what we need to hear. More of that. But Game Pass, I know. But this is where I got a little. Well, he said this. What was it?
At Xbox stage is growing. Tell us about that.
Well, it will be acquiring In Exile.
He said something here, like when you look. Yeah, I'm gonna get to it.
Gotta feel great. You must feel really good about the future. Gotta feel great. You must feel really good about the future.
He said something where, oh shit, yeah. He said something where, you know, when I acquire a studio, it's about, yeah, like he said something. He says here where I acquire a studio, it's not about. I don't have a checklist of games that I want here. It's more about the people.
So who else is joining?
I think he says in the beginning.
How it's gone, fans seem to love it.
But I gotta ask you, we talked about 2018, and then 2019 is looking pretty good too.
Yeah, we got some cool stuff coming up. As you've seen here today, we've got Crackdown 3, we've got a new Ori, and later in the year we'll do Gears 5. Pretty exciting.
And no Gears 5 either.
Now, Jill didn't leave much to the imagination. The Microsoft Studios family is growing. Tell us about that. Well, if you remember any list of certain genres,
I think he has it in between this one.
some role-playing games for role-playing games.
I like that guy was like, I'm not coming out of retirement anytime soon. I'm like, was he retiring?
Really excited to welcome to the studio level. That's one. We talked about two.
See what I mean? Like, and this whole teasing of the studios and stuff like that. This is a direct feedback of how they responded to him at E3 with the studio announcements. You know, if people came out with a little bit more skepticism and just said, oh, okay, studio announcements, all right, cool. Like, you know, all right, we'll see the games. Instead of people cheering these studios like they were games, I don't think we would have had this format to this XO18, whereas they tease this for the end of this is the headliner. Like, hey, these people will eat up anything. Like, yo, they'll eat up a studio. That's great. We don't have to show any of our games. And that's where I think, you know, the problem lies is that you need to be vocal on this stuff. Like, we got to stop making stories for Microsoft. Oh, these studios are making 4 and 5 games. I heard from an insider. You know what? If you look at right now what they got and what they have coming, we're going to be, you know, I don't know what Gears 5 is going to be. But, you know, it is, if it is not like Marcus Phoenix and stuff, and it seems like a spinoff, I hope, like, you know, I don't know what the multiplayer is going to be like, but hopefully it's something that it shows evolving of Gears. Like, it can't be just the same old Gears of War with just Kate in it, and then also the multiplayer just be a little bit fixed, evolved of Gears 4, and then nonetheless Halo. What the hell is Halo going to be? They're going to leave that Halo 5 story where it is and just say now we're following Master Chief. Like, where's the continue? Like, what happened? Yeah, Gears Pop. I can't wait to play. They didn't even have Gears Pop there. Gears Pop, Gears Tactics. Like, I'm just like, the games that they should have used this XO event to just talk about the games that they announced at E3 and kind of set up a portfolio aligned with coming out this holiday, whatever's left of this holiday, and maybe early next year, the first quarter, kind of like using this as a kickoff for the first quarter and to lead us into E3 where they'll talk about this next holiday. That's what they should have did. Instead, what they did was they just do this as a Game Pass announcement. They said that they bought studios and like that's it. And there's your end of year. Like, they had the center stage. They had this full thing going on, and they failed in a show, delivering on a show, and the news. The news could have been, you know, we bought these studios, like, and that was it. But like I said before, like, we don't need to, like, Microsoft, if they really wanted to address the issue that they admit to of not having first party games or not really having exclusive games or like their portfolio, they could be doing, like, why are they not getting exclusive? Like, they could be shopping around for games. They could be doing that stuff. They could be highlighting games that are only on their platform and showing features and really marketing those games and showing how like, you know, like you said, the Chief, about Ashen, like, they could be showing what Ashen is, hyping Ashen up to be like, you know, what it is. Instead, is it just going to be dumped out in December and nobody's going to even know what's going on with it? Like, that's what I mean. It's like the games that you do have, the effort that you can make right now. I'm not saying let's start with the basic ingredients, but like, you could be making moves right now to gain momentum to move into next gen. Like, people think that next gen is just going to be a reset. And if people knowing how 2013 lingered on in Xbox for fucking 5 years, you think that all of a sudden Scarlet comes out and everybody just forgets about the abandonment that Xbox did during this generation, how they abandoned half their bullshit, how they abandoned the console and said, hey, we're going everywhere with PC? Like, you think that all of a sudden they just have a new Xbox come out and people just forget? Exactly, Jemai. Forza 4. Forza Horizon 4. They had more publicity with the piece of shit Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2 than Forza Horizon. It is just like, it's just there. They didn't even bundle it this holiday to promote Forza. They fucking bundled Minecraft. And where the hell's the 4K Minecraft update that they talked about last year? And they talked about the E3 last year. And they talked about it at the launch of the Xbox One X, 4K Minecraft. No, it's not around. Like, do you think maybe they should have shown that instead of furry animals? Saying, go get an X. Minecraft is bundled this holiday with the Xbox, and it's going to get the 4K update on PC and Xbox. Like, that's better marketing than showing furry animals and just not even talking about the 4K update. It's just so their focus on what they could have talked about and what they could have used this stage, a missed opportunity yet again. And the E3, wait to E3. They're going to have big announcements. Wait to Gamescom, big announcements. Oh, shit. Well, forget about Gamescom. They have an Inside Xbox. Phil Spencer's going to be on there. Oh, shit. Oh, and here's XO18, big announcements. They have failed every single fucking time on delivering new games. New games. Listen here, supposedly game fans and video game players. New games. They are still talking about Sea of Thieves, still talking about State of Decay, still talking about fucking PUBG. They have released 1 or 2 games, and they plan on talking to death about them for an entire year. That's somebody who's stalling. That is a company that doesn't have any fucking thing to show right now. That's why they need to stop having events, stop making news when there is no news, stay low key, and come back when you balls dropped. Stop teasing, boring, because you're just damaging the brand. You're making yourself look like a fucking joke. No PlayStation guy is going to jump over to Xbox, and no Xbox guy is going to admit that this is trash. But you are a joke. You are becoming a joke. You're not taking this seriously as gamers take seriously. People play. They want these games. They want to justify their purchase. I've been saying, yeah, like Recall 1.5, I've been saying we should have had a Gears of War expansion. We should have had a Halo mission. We should have had something. There should have been something. That's why I mean, you don't need to buy a studio and say, wait 5 years. Why don't you just say, hey, 343, make a spin-off game. Do this. This should have been done years ago. After they finish Halo 5, make something. I want to have a game come out in another couple of years. It's going to take a while for Halo Infinite with the new engine. Make something on the old engine. We'll make out some Halo expansion like ODST was. Or, what about Gears made a Rams mission where you actually with a boss for $30. Look what they did with Horizon Zero Dawn. Look what they did with Lost Legacy. Sony got it. You keep those games relevant. You keep those IPs fresh. You give your people new experiences with the same IP. Gears Tactics would have been a perfect release for this holiday. Something different. Something here, but here's Gears of War. Gears of War, but something different. But I think Halo Wars failed so bad that they probably said, hey, you know what? Let's keep this shit on PC. I don't know. Halo Wars 2. But there's things that they could be doing. The things they could be doing to show their care for the console and for the gamer. Like, Game Pass is not for the hardcore. I said it. Game Pass is not for the hardcore gamer. Because if you play on Xbox, you probably own a majority of those Game Pass games. And the only thing you're looking for are the new games. And if you look at Game Pass for what it is with new content, it's very lacking. Game Pass is not for the hardcore Xbox owner. Game Pass is the casual. Game Pass is your Connect games. It's Connect. It's the shit they've been trying to do for the last fucking 10 years. They're trying to reach a casual market. They're trying to reach a broader market. They think they satisfy the core, or they think that the people standing in that crowd right there, if Major Nelson just fucking whipped out his dick and pissed on all of them, they'll be cheering Major, 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 Major. They will take anything that they can. They'll take anything. And maybe that's how Microsoft sees their fans, as mindless drones that will just eat shit if they were told to. And it discredits the value of the Xbox gamer. Like, it just makes them think that they'll just eat shit. They don't care. We got them. We got them by the balls. They won't leave us. They bleed green. They won't leave us. I'll shit in their cereal and they'll still be my fan. Well, we got to reach his grandma and little Timmy playing on his phone, and grandma at the TV, and mom and dad that don't have time to play games but can play on their phone. And to Jeremiah out there over who can't afford a TV. To Phil that can't afford a PC. Those are the people we need to reach with our games. Because the core, they'll eat anything we give them. Phil. Sea of Thieves. They'll defend the 68 on Metacritic and not demand for better quality coming out of the power of Microsoft. Microsoft first party, rare. 68 on Metacritic. I don't give a fuck how many people are playing it. All those wannabe pirates. The game, a lack of content. And it still doesn't have a progression. It still doesn't have anything of mission types. It basically, now they said, oh, we're going to add arena mode. Really? Like, where is the disconnect? Like, it is such a disconnect. But Phil said it. He thinks he satisfied you guys at XO. He took care of you. He gave you the most powerful console so you could fight the Digital Foundry wars. He gave you backwards compatibility so you could play all the old games, that you could relive the memories of when Xbox gave a shit. And now he's going to go move on and work on PC and Windows 10 store. That's his future. So I expect next E3 he's going to relaunch the Windows 10 store. But that's where he has to go, because that's where the focus is. That's where head of Xbox says he has to go. He has to fix Windows and make it the place to play games. That's nice. Go line up and go buy a fucking $500 console. Enjoy. Because you know the manufacturer of that console says he has to go fix Windows. And then tell me, when you lined up to buy that fucking console, that this was all part of the plan. You knew this. It was a bait and switch. You bought that product thinking that you're going to get support for that product. You bought that product thinking you're going to get special games for that product. You didn't buy that product knowing that fucking the little Timmy could go play on his phone the games that you're paying $500 to play, because guess what? You could play it best. Gives a shit where you play it best. The fact that you can play the game at all is the real kicker. That's the thing. Just like, why are there $500, $1,000 headphones and then $5 earbuds? There's audiophiles, and then there's people just say, give me a fucking headphone. Exactly, Jemiah. If people really cared about power, you would just buy a computer. Oh, computers are so expensive. Well, guess what? A computer doesn't just play games. It does photos, does video, it does everything. You don't buy a PC and say, this is my gaming machine. You can, but that's one aspect of the computer. But when you buy a console, it better have fucking games. If you buy a gaming console, it better have fucking games. Otherwise, it's a Netflix box. And if you want Netflix, you can get it on a $20 stick or on your TV already. So even these consoles as media devices really don't even do, because your TV could do more than the media device. Remember when we didn't have smart TVs, the console was the media center. But guess what? Now TVs, $20 Amazon sticks, and all this other shit. And TVs with built-in architecture. You don't need these consoles to watch Netflix. You don't need them to watch Hulu. You don't need them to stream YouTube. You don't need them for that stuff. So these gaming consoles have, more importantly, become more reliant on the gaming content more than ever. And maybe you can make that argument 10 years ago or something like that, and saying like, hey, you know what? That my gaming console, yeah, I like my Xbox, but I watch Netflix on it a lot. But now you don't need it. You don't need that console to be your entertainment hub. And sometimes your TV has better Netflix than the devices. It has HDR 4K probably built into it. You know? Yeah, Daredevil season. Yeah, exclusive content to Netflix. Daredevil season 3. But more than ever, when you buy a gaming console now, it's about the games. It's not about the media functionality of it, because your TVs and little Amazon sticks have replaced it, and who all those things. So it's about the games. So when you line up and buy that gaming console, you're expecting the games. And if it's the games that can be played everywhere, then why are you buying that console? And if you want the lowest point of entry, if you could just play that game on your phone, even though that might not be a primary place to play, but if that game is accessible on your phone, then what's the demand? It's all supply and demand. You need to create a demand for your product. And I heard Phil Spencer do one of these interviews, and he says like Xbox to him has always been about power. That's wrong. It's wrong. It should be about the games. I don't understand how we lost that. I don't understand how games became like something that we don't talk about, or like something that is really like faux pas. I'll tell you right here. Where is it? This is it right here. Here it is.
Here it was all like the death of console. Everybody's going to play.
About how that kind of has progressed.
This is 2017 interview
Especially
with GameSpot.
Consoles and how you see it kind of going forward.
Yeah. You know, even something like Minecraft, which we ship everywhere. We ship it on PlayStation, ship it on Switch. It's doing well. It does well.
Again, more PlayStation drops.
I think about gamers first. I think about games first. I want us as a games industry to continue to grow. Like, that's why I'm here. There are 1 billion gamers on the planet.
1 billion.
Our business is doing well on Xbox. Sony, Sean, Andy, those guys have done a great job with PlayStation. And I love what Nintendo's done with the launch of the Switch. 5 years ago when I was here, it was all like the death of console. Everybody's going to play on their iPad. Why don't you guys go home? Right? That was honestly, like that was a question. Now we're sitting with Sony doing really well. We're doing well. The Switch has come out of the gate incredibly strong. I don't get those questions anymore. So that feels
How funny is that? That was in 2017, but then he shows xCloud being played on a fucking tablet. Everybody's going to play on iPads. Go home, right? This is what I mean. Like, he's like, iPad. Everybody playing on iPads. Go home. Consoles are dead. And you show xCloud streaming to a tablet with an Xbox controller slapped to it. I guess consoles are dead to you now. A year later.
Okay. So I knew I was going to have to wait. There was a risk in that. Like I've been around Xbox since we shipped the
This is it.
one. I do think Xbox should be about power. And I think we kind of lost that at the launch of Xbox One. We're hardware that this leadership team thought about. We wanted to take the form factor of Xbox One, make it a little bit smaller, which we did with S, add HDR, the 4K Blu-ray. And I love how S is doing. Like it's an incredible, for me, it's an incredibly strong platform and piece of hardware. And X was a power. Like I've been around Xbox since we shipped the original one. I do think Xbox should be about power. And
I do think that Xbox should be about power. Xbox, the original one, was most powerful. PlayStation 2 dominated. Xbox 360 wasn't about power. PlayStation 3 was more power. And 360 did well. The Wii was the weakest out of all of them, passed both of them up. The Nintendo Switch, how it's taking off. It is the least powerful, same price. It's not like it's cheaper. It's $300. Actually more expensive than the Black Friday base consoles. It's not about power. It's about the ability to play those games and where you can play them. Xbox should not be about power. The most powerful console never won because it was never about power. It was about the games. Xbox original didn't sell because it was more powerful than the PlayStation 3. The Xbox original sold because of Halo, a game. So if he believes that it's about power and he's just going to keep giving Xbox, it's just going to mean more powerful consoles. It's wrong. That should not be the focus. It should be about games. People come for the games. They don't give a shit what the game looks like. Like, hell, look at PlayStation 4 when it launched. People were going crazy over Resogun. 360, when it played, people, guess what the like crazy game I remember talking about? Geometry Wars. It wasn't about graphic fidelity. It was an addiction. It was a game that had a great gameplay loop. It was something that people wanted to play. Look at how everybody's talking about Tetris Effect right now. That demo is ridiculous. I had to buy that game. That is insane. That is such trippy. The music is great. It is like Luminous and Tetris, but it's fucking Tetris. It's about the games. It's not about the realism. It's not about the most powerful thing. It's about what you can do with the architecture and how you can make a unique experience or a special experience to make the gamer feel something special, to get an effect. Doesn't matter when you watch a movie if it was made in anamorphic 2x35 or 16:9 or 4K, filmed in 4K or filmed on 1080p. Doesn't matter like how the movie is. Doesn't matter if it's a black and white movie. Did it not give you the emotion of black and white versus a color movie versus like, you know, a movie that's in color and like the delivery. It's all about the content. It's not about the power. And I'll tell you another example. I have the both VRs. I have the Vive, which is a better quality, better fidelity VR, but I use my PlayStation 1 more. Now, yes, there's comfort, and you know, I do think the lenses, like some of the physical stuff, but the content that comes out on PlayStation, it's not like this haphazard Steam VR kind of like, hey, check out this kind of garage project. They're polished games and they're unique experiences that work well with the motion controller. The fact that stupid light bar is on this PlayStation controller and how it works in Astrobot is fucking crazy. And yeah, you got to reset and you don't have room scale and stuff like that, but the lower technology is delivering more unique experiences that seem polished because it's working on fixed hardware. It is not I got to run a setup on Vive to make sure that this thing works and this thing is, you know, the frame rate's all over the place because it's a work in progress. No, these games are polished. They come out on PlayStation. Most of them work. All of them actually work. They're good games. Like they're amazing experiences. And and I'm just saying, but the technology is definitely antique on the PlayStation. What they're doing with that old ass light bulbs, I can't believe it. And I'm so hyped for the next VR. And I think it's a travesty that Microsoft not even putting any effort into console gaming VR at all. With all that power, at least they could justify the power if they gave a high fidelity VR experience. The fact that they are out of it is just ridiculous. It's the same shit that happened with their phones, with the Microsoft Band, all their shit. They come in late to the party or they come in too early and don't follow through. That's Microsoft's MO. That's what they do. They come late to the party and fail and just drop it off, like with the Band when Fitbits and all the other shit were taken off, or Windows Phone. Or they come early to the party, don't know how to sell it, don't get the dev support, and drop it before it even becomes a thing, like with Xbox Connect and voice chat. And they could have just had a fucking microphone put in one of their billion controllers and just had Cortana or have their voice worked and not have the camera. Just get rid of the camera and just put a microphone array in your console or in your controller. And you would have the same thing as an Alexa right in your controller. Simple as that. Don't need the camera. There are things that they could have done to follow through with these things rather than just canceling them. And when I look at the history of what they've done over the last 5-6 years, and then you tell me, well, give them 5 or 6 years more, I'm not going to tell you in 6 years that I'm still disappointed in them, because we're sitting there. Yeah, I heard that, Jemiah, about the Chicago putting entertainment tax on all streaming. Yeah. Oh, trust me. People saying streaming is the future, you better check yourself, because everybody's going to find a way on affecting that. Everybody's going to want a hand in that pot. Everybody. There's going to be, there's data caps and all that other stuff. And nothing ever is going to beat native playing a game on a dedicated gaming device. Because even on a PC, like, it's not a dedicated gaming device. Like, your graphics card is using the graphics of the operating system and whatever bullshit apps are launching in the background. But if you really care about gaming, a dedicated gaming console, and like I said, Sony and Nintendo are following the same book of a traditional console that delivers on features and unique games. And they are seeing supreme success. Microsoft's the one that's flailing around, and it shows in the numbers and in their console sales and their NPD wins. If Xbox was all about power, the Xbox One X would win an NPD. It would be even in second place at all. It hasn't come in at all this year. Only the launch month. And a $400 Xbox One X would have been great if there was some games this holiday. You're going to tell me what? Red Dead and fucking Assassin's Creed? Go buy an Xbox One X, pay $400? Nobody's going to do that. When PlayStation's saying there's $200 for Spider-Man. Are you kidding me? And if they drop their Pro, like they had the Pro bundles and all, like they're just marketing out the wazoo. And Microsoft is flailing around, talking clouds, talking this, backtracking on this, and talking about Game Pass and all this other shit. Like, it's all over the place. They're flailing around. And they're talking about Game Pass. Game Pass is a bunch of old-ass games. Or maybe 1 or 2 new games a month, maybe sprinkled in. And they do a horrible job of hyping the new games and talking about the new games. Instead, they want to talk about old games in that service that are getting updates. Oh, we'll talk about updates. You don't have to keep fixing shit if it launches not broken. Think about that, Microsoft. You got to fix the Windows 10 store. You got to fix the console. You got to fix this. You know what? Why don't you sit the fuck down, take a deep breath, and say, why don't we launch something that's polished? Why don't we put all our eggs in a basket with PUBG and make sure we launch it as a premier game for the Xbox One X? Nah. Let's just throw it in a preview program. Let it get 19 updates. We'll market it like we really got a game. And it'll get 19 updates and still not work a damn until a year later. And then it's going to go, we're going to throw it into the Game Pass dump. And that's what they did. Instead of sitting down and going, let's make sure this game is the best experience on the X and a justification showing that it runs even better than PC. Rather than just throwing it out there and saying we're going to fix it. And that's their MO. Same thing with Sea of Thieves. They had, and tell me about Sea of Thieves. The problem I always bring up Sea of Thieves is that it had a beta for over a year. Over a year, it had a beta with feedback. It was a closed beta with feedback. People going, what's the content? What do we do? I want this. I want that. I want this. And it launched as is. And then after the fact, they're like, we're going to add stuff to it. Meanwhile, over a year and a half, people are like, I want to do stuff. I want to add more. I want to do this. I want to do that. And they didn't. They launched it as is. State of K2, AAA all the way. That game came out to the same bugs that plagued the first game 6 years ago. No, but Jemiah, they didn't add progression to the system. Instead, they added an arena mode, because the combat is so polished in that game where you shoot a guy and he doesn't react, and the stupid swords don't have any physics to that. Like, it sucks. Let's add a combat mode. And if you look at the poll that Aaron Greenberg sent out, he said people asking for it. You look at the poll, everybody says, no, I'll stick to adventure mode. You want to know why? Because that crowd left. The people that wanted more left. Nobody's going back to that for combat mode. People wanted the combat to stop. It is janky as hell. The combat's not polished at all. It's horrible. It just shows the disconnect. They just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. People wanted progression. People wanted missions. People wanted cool things to do. And they say, hey, here's another game mode that probably nobody's going to jump into. And you're just going to shoot and flail around and get treasure. Yeah, it's sad. But that's Microsoft. They shipped something that was broken, and then they kind of fix it. Just like how Phil says now, his next mission is to fix the Windows 10 store. Which that's going to be a lot of work because that Windows 10 store is trash. And it goes against everybody saying well, the Windows 10 store is under another division that doesn't affect Xbox. That's why it's not getting updated. And Phil Spencer said he's going to take more of a leadership role and fix the Windows 10 store. So, I think people need to calm down with their insiders. Because if Phil could fix the Windows 10 store, then it being under another division really, I'm not waiting, Jemiah, man. He has to fix that shitty ass stuff. No, what they need to do is just basically take the Xbox. They got to make a console interface, just like Steam Big Picture. That's what they need to do. They need to take the console interface and just make it with a controller on your PC where you could navigate, buy games. You could do everything with the controller, with your friends list and everything like that, and call it a day. And basically turn your PC into Xbox mode. That's what I thought gaming mode was going to be. But that's basically what they need to do. Because the problem with the Windows, it's that's the problem also with playing on a console on that PC with the controller is that you hit the Xbox button, it brings up a little quick menu, but then you got to use the mouse to navigate your friends list because that's a separate app. It's a mess. But they got to integrate it all. But if that's what he's going to focus on, sit there with your console, enjoy, because Phil Spencer's focusing on Windows. He said he said it today. An XO18. At an Xbox event, he comes down and his future is fixing the Windows 10 PC gaming, making it the best place for gaming. At an Xbox event. If that gets you all giddy and happy about your console sitting under your TV, I don't know what's wrong with you. But it gets me happy because the Windows 10 store needs to be fixed. And if they could just make my PC just turn into an Xbox with the console, with the controller, that'd be great. Because that's how I'm going to experience Microsoft from now on. It's just that's it. Because I can't see justifying another console when they don't give a shit if the console sells or not. They're not giving exclusive content for that console. And they're actually putting more exclusive stuff on a PC, which I thought were all one family. Why you keep feeding the oldest child? The youngest child's going to be like, what the fuck? If everybody's one family, you have favoritism to your oldest, the PC. Xbox, put them in the bushes. But, I think overall, Crackdown was a no-show again. It was basically a no-show. They showed a little trailer of it. Hopefully, maybe they show some more of the multiplayer, but that lock-on shit looks horrible. It doesn't look like it's going to be fun. You just want to see what you can destroy, and it'll be a 5-minute, 10-minute, maybe 15-minute experience, and I think we'll move on. I don't think it's anything. There was nothing in that trailer and what they've shown in Crackdown 3 to be yo, this is something that's going to be hold us off until Gears multiplayer or hold us off until Halo multiplayer. No way. That Crackdown thing looks like a fucking tech demo that just says, hey, we did cloud. There's some destruction. You remember Red Faction, Gorilla? Yeah, here it is in Crackdown. And then maybe the single player now with 2 people, which kind of sucks. I wish they had 4. Remember, there's no destruction in multiplayer in the single player because that's not cloud-based. That's probably why they're 2 separate apps. But I think Crackdown overall needed to be a come out show. They needed to get really deep dive into Crackdown and really promote it and sell it during this event. And they should have spent about 25, 30 minutes on it. They spent fucking 2 minutes on it. And I thought with Joseph Staten go down there that maybe they were going to have more talk about the story, talk about what you can do, what kind of weapons, maybe tease a cool gun, show a cool gun, like a gravity gun, or maybe like a something that could pull down buildings or a crazy car. Show something. They showed nothing. So Crackdown again was like they should have showed that trailer at E3. I don't know what they waited for, but again, that's Microsoft putting the carrot in front of all their fucking fans and thinking that people are just going to keep waiting and waiting and waiting until they grow a fucking beard. But I think the show was horrible. I think they got to get rid of the whole fucking Inside Xbox. It's a joke. It's a troll show. It makes them look like they have such a disconnect with their fans. I don't know who it's for. I hope everybody who was in that crowd got paid accordingly. And I think XO19 is a trash show. I don't think they should do XO at all. I think it's retarded. I think they just got to nix the whole thing. Or if they do XO, make it like E3 and just cut out the whole fucking Inside Xbox, because that whole crew is cringe. They don't, it's rehearsed. The makeup for Major Nell, like just think about the production value and money that they're wasting to put on that fucking piece of shit to deliver no news. And I agree. CO, yeah. Crackdown's not going to be good. Crackdown's not going to be good. It might be mediocre at best. Looking at a 7, maybe. Maybe a 7. And Just Cause look better, but Just Cause got to watch on the frame rate. And who knows what the frame rate's going to be with the cloud stuff. Like, I don't know what the frame rate's going to be in Crackdown. We'll see. And yeah, and I know they showed 16 games for Gamepad. What's up, Kev? For Game Pass. And they were all horrible. I thought it was hilarious that they had to explain. They had to explain. You know what? I don't know if they'll get a 7. It might get low, a Crackdown. But I think it's just going to be a whatever. It's going to be a whatever game. Crackdown's not going to be anything that moves the needle to say you need to play this game. And that's what Microsoft needs right now. They need something in the Xbox brand that says, I need to play on an Xbox or PC. I need to play this game. They need quality games. They need more Forza Horizons. Yeah, I don't know. What did we see with Crackdown? That was just saying, like, we didn't see anything. We should have saw more about Crackdown. There should have been more about the story. There should have been more about like show us some cool guns, show us like some cool like weapons, and show us like cool like vehicles and things you can do. Maybe demo a story mission. Maybe have a multiplayer gameplay and show that it's not just this lock-on craziness. That looks like it's Crackdown 2 multiplayer, which sucked. That was the same stuff. You would just lock on somebody, they jumping all over the place, and you basically just hold the button and shoot, and no skill at all. It was boring. It was whoever locked on who first. You'll be just jumping around, all of a sudden you'll die. You're like, what happened? You got locked on from somebody a mile away that has been flying around. And also, too, what's with the Crackdown 3 flying? Why do they have jetpacks flying across a map? Yes, Kev, lock on mouse. Oh my God, mouse aim crossplay. Yes, I know that's gonna be crazy. Fuck, what happens if you could just do command lines? You basically could just hit like Control T, and it'll just keep toggling through people, just shooting them. You get Control T, Control T, Control T, and just be holding the mouse button. You could do like quick keys, like function keys. But like, it's just. Like, they needed to show more of Crackdown. I thought that was the whole point of this event, and they didn't. So they're still hiding something. They proof of, hey, we got cloud destruction. Thank you, confirmed, and then they left. They ducked out of there. But I thought that's the stuff that Crackdown, Battletoads, Ashen, like they could be showing games that they have to hotkeys exactly. Exactly, with the lock on. But like it's just like they have games that they could show to kind of like get a little hype for the console. But they failed on it. You know, they just kind of just talked about Game Pass. Wants the people to subscribe. Is it Morocco or Fiji? Is it really? It's like a vacation for Major Nelson's. Wherever Major Nelson wants to go on vacation, that's where the next XO is gonna be. Where he can take his crew and do some wear his cabana shirts. He's like, let's go to Bahamas. I got a whole bunch of those fucking flower shirts I can wear. Maybe Hawaii. He'll fly everybody out to Hawaii. You know what remind me of? XO kind of remind me of the Pro Bowl. That's what it remind me of. It remind me of the Pro Bowl. It's like, yo, let's get all these execs and all these Microsoft employees and let's send them on a little vacation. They can put on some bullshit performance and they can say that they lived on vacation. I'm going to tweet that out after this show. That's what it remind me of. XO was the fucking Pro Bowl. But they used to say, well, it's a free trip to Hawaii. I can go give a half-ass effort and fucking at least I get a vacation to Hawaii. That's what XO was. Well, Phil Spencer wants a vacation in Mexico City. You know, he wants some tacos. Let's fly all the execs out on vacation as a tax write-off. And they can basically use their vacation now to go hang out in Mexico. And they can bring next ones are going to be, destination XO19 Hawaii. Fucking Major Nelson roasting a pig like that. And the destination Fiji. Now, I bet you know they're going to have it next year. I bet you they'll have it in Australia. XO Australia. Yep, they gave out Game Pass subs and swag for the audience. It's Game Pass, man. Game Pass. I never seen somebody push so hard on a server. Like, man, they are shoving Game Pass down everybody's throat. I don't know. Like, I think it's a good value. Like, I think it's good for what it is. But if you have been a long time fan, if you've been a long time with it, I just don't see how the content in Game Pass really compels you to subscribe for it. Because I do see it, like Jemiah, like a PlayStation Now, like I didn't buy a lot of games on PlayStation 3, and I see a lot of those PlayStation 3 games. I'm like, oh wow, I didn't play these. But but then my friends, like if they had a PlayStation 3, they're like, yeah, well, I played all those games already. I don't want to play them again. But see, the thing is that PlayStation Now has a reason to exist because it could coexist with Sony's current model. PlayStation Now is more of like older games if you just want like an instant library and a lot of older games, and then some of the games on PlayStation. They're not putting new games in there. So PlayStation Now could coexist with Sony's delivering God of War, God of War, Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima. Like they're delivering new exclusive content, Spider-Man. But then PS Now complements that because it gives you the pass. You know, it complements it. Microsoft has Game Pass and it contradicts and competes with themselves, where that you could buy the game for $60. Or you could just do Game Pass it for like $5 or $10, and you could play the game and get your fix. Now, whether you stay or whether you go. But you see what they're doing is that they're only offering these promotions like the $1 and stuff to new Game Pass subscribers. So if you're like Kev, who says he used Game Pass and then he gave it free for a month and then he wants to sign up again, well, the thing is that you're not going to be able to use those promotions anymore. So the next time they get you, you're going to be paying $10 unless you get a code or something. But yeah, I'm going to say PlayStation Now on PC is rough. I don't know what they got going on there, but it doesn't work well. I use it pretty much on my console. With the Ethernet connection, it works pretty good, but I'm liking the downloadable games and stuff like that. Yeah. I think, you know what, though? I do think the PlayStation Classic, I think that is a jumping off point that they're going to offer PlayStation Classic games on the next console. That's what I think. That's why they didn't put all those games on there. I think this is more of a test market to see how this thing sells and then see if people give a shit about PlayStation Classic games, that they could open up a market with PS1 games on PlayStation Now or some shit like that. But, yeah. Yeah, Origin Premier is pretty good. Like, that's the thing. Like, you're getting those games for free. Yeah. And I want to see what Game Pass looks like on the PC. You know, which makes me think reason why they're putting like PC exclusive games from Microsoft Studios, because I'm sure those are going to be their Game Pass games that they're going to put in there, like Age of Empires, Gears Tactics. Like I bet you by the time Gears, they got to build up that Windows 10 store to have, to offer Game Pass games. And I think if they put some exclusives in there for PC, it will make people sign up for Game Pass on that. What I'd like to know is if you sign up for Game Pass, is it the same Game Pass? Because if you get a whole bunch of PC games and Xbox games, it's pretty good if you own both of them, So I could see Game Pass is neat. It's just that they need more content, new content, and it's going to take time. Even though it's been over a year of Game Pass, but it's been a year since they've been doing this stuff. They just need content in it, and it wouldn't be that bad. It wouldn't be that bad because it's an option. And the thing is that it's an option that makes you an option that you don't have to own any of their hardware. Well, you got to own a PC to do it, but but maybe they'll have a PC Game Pass. I don't know. Yeah, it's just Play Anywhere titles right now. But I'm saying if they put some PC exclusive games in there and you're getting those and you're getting Xbox games, Game Pass could be pretty, I think it's not going to come to PC. I think those games, Game Pass is going to come to PC via streaming. I think xCloud, when xCloud launches, I think that's where you'll have access to all your Game Pass games. And the games that are on PC, you'll be able to natively, similar exactly to PlayStation Now. The games, like the PlayStation 4 games, you could download natively to your console, the ones that are made for it, but then all the other ones will be streamed. But see, Jemiah, thanks for coming in, man. I'm going to be heading out. I can't believe I've been talking this long. My voice is like going, but I got to head out for my family things going on. But I think it's interesting. I just think the XO18, the hype for it, the presentation was garbage. It's nice that they're buying studios, but you know what? We've said this before. You got to see what these studios do. And as I said, it takes time. You look at Guerrilla, you look at 343, ironing out the kinks between Halo 4 and Halo 5. These are years. So you don't just think that, this Hellblade is going to, they're going to, one of these studios are just going to walk in and be like, here's Blockbuster Game 1 from a studio. It's going to take time. Do you think the initiative is just going to come out with, here's Blockbuster Game 95, amazing? Infinity Ward did it with Titanfall 1. They worked together and they just moved the whole studio over. The initiative is a bunch of people coming together. Like, their first game might not be a blockbuster. It might have some inklings of like, hey, this is promising. But it's going to take it. So it's not only years to get a game from them, but whether to get an amazing game, it might even take 10 years. Exactly. Hey, it needs like 20. Like, it might be 10 years. Look at God of War. Look at Santa Monica. Look at these older studios. Even look at the Coalition. Gears 4 was nice, but I think Gears 3 was more ambitious than Gears 4. I think Gears 3 showed more evolution of the series with fighting a Brumac, fighting him in the open space rather than behind the wall. And Gears of War Gears of War 3, I think was much more ambitious than Gears of War 4. Gears of War 4 is like, hey, we could do it. Same thing. Like, I think that Halo Reach and Halo 3 were more ambitious, better games than what Halo 4 was. Because Halo 4 and Cola, they're all newer studios. It takes time. It takes time to make the game, but then also to iron out the kinks of that first game to fix it in the sequel. Just look at Uncharted 1 compared to Uncharted 2. And there's 3 years in between those. So not only do we have to wait 3 years or 4 years to see what these studios are making, or 2 or 3 years, but then when they make that game, we got to hope that game is good. But then when that game comes out and maybe it's not as great as it wants to be, then we got to wait another 3 or 4 years. You're talking 7, 8 years to get a blockbuster game maybe from these studios, if they are to deliver that. And if they're still around, then Phil don't fire them all. Project Spark team, fire those guys, they're gone. Team Dakota, gone. Look, Fables I made, gone. So, Microsoft's not afraid of cutting the fat either. If these studios that they're buying up don't show promising, I'm sure Microsoft, hey, sorry, it didn't work out with Collective. We didn't like their vision or what they're doing. So, we're merging Collective with the initiative, and we're going to shut down Collective. What, Ninja Theory with Hellblade? That's about it. Ninja Theory, But the thing about Obsidian is that they don't come with any IP though. And South Park was good, but that was a lot to do with the IP that they don't own. Fallout was great, but that was an IP that they don't own. Let's talk Alpha Protocol. Like, I guess Pillars of Eternity, which I never played that game, but I guess that's their IP that they come with. But is that gonna, if that comes to Xbox, I guess I'll try it. I don't know. But if you look at their stuff, a lot of their stuff has been licensed to them, and a lot of the license carrying had a lot to do with it. And Ninja Theory with Hellblade, I think, is great. Yeah, I'm saying, well, they're like Platinum. But Platinum made, yeah, but what is it? The Bayonetta was their IP. It's the best RPG of Pillars of Eternity. Yeah, exactly. Rare did have blockbusters. Rare had blockbusters before. So good they are now. Yeah, embracing that Rare IP, I just don't understand. No Killer Instinct. Why the Battletoads thing they didn't really do. Like, I don't know why they didn't show more Battletoads. To show some of that IP. But the thing about these studios, I understand that some of them did some things, but they're under a new regime. We don't know what they're gonna do. Just like with Rare. You think Rare made Grab by the Ghoulies was their first game under Microsoft. And ever since then, what is Rare made? They made Conquer Remastered with some live and reloaded multiplayer. Perfect Dark. They tried it, and it didn't have the stay as the first games that did. But look at what Rare turned into. So I don't know. They're under a new head. They're under a new regime. He says he's going to make them operate independently on making what they want. We'll see what they make. But again, we don't know. And that's the problem. The problem is we don't know what genre. We don't know what platform. PC exclusive. Who knows? We don't know what they are making. And they're going to have to show a trailer. And we're going to have to see if we like it. We're going to have to see if we like the gameplay. And unfortunately, the way history is going, Microsoft has a really, really bad problem with marketing and letting people want to play their games. Just look at examples of what they did with Gears 5. They should have showed Gears 5 at this event as a closer, showing something like that. Rod Ferguson was down there. He was down there for the Gears tournament, some bullshit like that. But Microsoft has a big problem with marketing and making people want. Look how Sony did with God of War, with Spider-Man, even with a new IP like Days Gone. Like, look how Sony's been marketing Days Gone. They had Game Informer do coverage. They had the developer do a thing. They've been showing Days Gone evolve as it's being developed, getting people hyped, having it in Game Informer magazine, having that exclusive interview and behind-the-scenes gameplay. They're building that new IP that when it comes out in February, people, no, it got delayed to April like that. But, like, look how they're handling that IP. They're building hype for it. They're adding features. They're telling you about more stuff. Look at what Nintendo. Now, I know this is silly, but look at Smash Brothers. If you haven't heard hype for a game, they've been talking about that with hour and 2 hour directs. Talking about more and more features, making you going, holy shit, I am missing out if I don't buy Smash Brothers. Holy shit, I'm missing out. Days Gone trash. And you know what? That's your opinion, Kev. If you don't like the Days Gone it is what it is. But you cannot deny on how Sony's making you look at that game and keep showing you it and evolving it. But look at how Microsoft's handling Crackdown. Look how Microsoft handled Sea of Thieves. Look how they handled State of Decay. They didn't talk about those games until the week or two before they launched. And they shot guy out of a cannon and put people in a submarine. A total disconnect. And they have these platforms of Inside Xbox where they can be showing deep dives into these games and not just talking heads. I mean, people playing it. Microsoft has a huge problem with getting people to want to play their games. A marketing issue. Just they do have so many issues with that. And Sony and Nintendo are just like, building anticipation for their games. So even when Microsoft has these games, the problem is that they got to have proper marketing, and that's Greenberg's area, but have proper to people sell it because they do a horrible job. So even if they might have a blockbuster on their hand, they just flutter around. They have Major Nelson doing crazy Eddie bullshit. To talk, like I said, I'm going to come full circle before I end this thing. It's like the $100 Xbox One X price reduction. That should have been big news. But because they put it in a package of Major Nelson looking like a fucking nutcase, that news just sort of was like, look at this idiot. And that's the problem, the disconnect. Instead of having Phil sit on stage and talk about we're making it the best place to pay at $400 because we're making amazing games, this is the place to play. Everybody should have the power for $400. We're matching our competitor, blah, blah, blah. That's how he should talk. And now that's how you deliver a $100 price drop. Instead, you got Major Nelson, $100 off all systems. What the fuck? He's a flower shirt wearing nutcase. But yeah, like it is ridiculous. But it's just the delivery of it. And Microsoft is just cringeworthy and they just have a disconnect with what they're doing. And that they want to surround themselves with paid fans or just crazy people that would cheer anything like to make them feel like they're valuable or feel like they're bigger than what they are and they're doing what their fans want because people are just artificially cheering. You got to cut the bullshit as Zaya says. Like, you got to cut the bullshit. Like, you got to see what it is. And unfortunately, they did have some good, cool little announcements in that thing, but it was just horrible. And XO18 needs to go. I don't want to hear wait to E3. I don't want to wait to next gen. Microsoft right now needs to go in hibernation. Do what you want to do with Game Pass, but they need to just go into Microsoft Studios, go into Microsoft, shut the doors, turn off the lights, put the microphones away, and just make some great games and develop a marketing strategy on how to promote such great games because that's what they need to do. And don't put out broken games that you say you're going to fix because that model does not work. And that's what they need to do. And stop teasing news that really doesn't amount to anything. Like, I don't understand why you couldn't talk about keyboard and mouse wirelessly and saying that it's coming to CES next year. We're going to talk about it then. Instead, he teases it inside Xbox that'll be at XO18 for XO18 to talk about at CES. Not that I give a shit about the keyboard and mouse, but the fact that model needs to stop. Stop pacifying and trying to delay stall tactics. Oh, I am here to talk about something. Yeah, we're doing some community stuff for State of K2, but I can't talk about it yet. Bye. What the fuck? Then don't tease me that State of K2 is going to be like, just stop. I know, Kev. That's me. I know. They got to pretend that they're doing something to the investors and all that other shit. I know. I'm not touching keyboard and mouse. Sorry about that. No way. No way, Jose. Keyboard and mouse is for Word documents and internet, not for games. That's my opinion on it. When I see keyboard and mouse in front of me, I go, let me check my email. I don't say, let's play a game. Yes. I agree. Yeah, we'll see what Scarlet is, but I hope he comes out with the Scarlet and they go, yeah, all that crazy shit. We're gonna have exclusives and stuff like that. Yeah. Well, yep. I try it. I have to. Yeah, I do admit, Kev, like the mouse is definitely accurate for first-person shooters. It's a much more satisfying way to play shooters with a mouse, but nah. Yeah, I can't. I tried it. It's the keyboard stuff. It's the the WASD. The WASD. WASD. I could do that. But once I start getting into like, oh, hit hit E to equip or hit Q or switch weapons with 1, 2, and 3 and 4, I'm done. Dead. Or run with holding space, jump with space bar, and run with the shift button, like shift and W is run. Oh yeah, I'm done with that. But we'll see. But I've been not talking too long. My voice is going. I gotta head out too. But I want to thank everybody for coming out. Again, it's grinding my gears. And really, like I said, there was some a little bit of good news in there. It's good that they're rebuilding, but they are rebuilding, they're rebranding, and I don't necessarily attribute it to being super excited about the Xbox console. Like I always said, it's not about that anymore. But it's good that Windows and Phil and they're gonna make games that we could play maybe 5 years from now that may be worthwhile. But right now they're in a holding pattern. They're flying around, and I would just say, to everybody out there, you're not going to change your opinion. If you're an Xbox fan, you're a PlayStation fan, the thing is like, you're going to prefer your brand, but you just need to put yourself in reality and know that they're in a holding pattern right now. They're in a rebuilding stage. We got to see what the results are going to be. But if you look at the history and see how Microsoft has kept promises and things they hyped up that turned out not to be, and things like that, I just don't have the forward thinking to think that they're going to be as successful as some people think they might be with these services and with these features, because they have failed a lot of times in the past, with promising things that were going to deliver, like DirectX 12. And unfortunately, the biggest problem that Microsoft always had is getting developer support. That is the biggest problem. The devs are not behind. There are certain devs behind Microsoft, but they have problems with the developers. The developers, to get that support, they had the problem with Windows Phone. That's why it died. They had problems with Connect. That's why that died. Nobody wanted to do it. I don't know what it is, if it's a history with Microsoft or what it is with all that monopolistic stuff. I don't know, but there is an issue with Microsoft getting developer attention and developer focus. Like, you look at Apple devs and you look at Google devs, those guys are like dedicated to give you the best of the best. And these Windows guys are like Win32, and Microsoft's like, no, we want UWP, and the guy's like, bullshit, I want a Win2 app. And they're all legacy old people. I don't know what it is, but Microsoft is just not in the hip kind of like way of a Google, and Apple, even a Sony, that to do that stuff. They just don't seem hip, and they try to fake to be hip. And I just think they need to be real serious about the games and stop with all this kind of like Major Nelson running around and all goofy shit. Like, they just need to get serious about it and talk to the gamers like they're real people, which they are. Just address us as mature audience, and you'll get your casuals. You don't have to talk like an idiot to get the casuals, but you got to address your core. Your cores are your best salespeople, and if you give them nothing to hype about, and they hype and it's false hype and all that other stuff, they're gonna look fake, and nobody's gonna believe them, and they lose credibility, and then you lose word of mouth, which is the most important part. So, I think you keep doing a good job. I say, Microsoft, you need to shut up and just get to work. Stop diddly-dallying around and get to work here. But I want to thank everybody for coming out. I'll talk to you guys soon. Again, this is Jez7780. Like, subscribe. My subscribers have been growing. I want to thank everybody. Like the video, share it out there. Maybe I'll be on playing Xbox this week. I'll see. It's been a crazy week at work. I had a couple hours this morning to talk, but I appreciate everybody coming out, and and have a good holiday. But I'll probably do another one later on, another show, but I'll try to do more of these. But I just want to get my opinions out there. But thanks again, everybody. Again, this has been What Grinds My Gears, episode 41. XO18 is dead on arrival. Thank you very much, and see you later. To all my grinders out there, I'm out.